Sorry, so I think you're saying YouTube that I don't think so. It should be good for everybody. Okay, welcome again, everybody. Welcome to this week's Brick Talk. I'm Randy, the guy who you're not seeing on screen with me
Sorry, so I
is
think you're saying
Danhai, but you
YouTube
are
that
hearing him.
I don't think so.
Indeed.
It should be good for everybody. Okay, welcome again, everybody. Welcome to this week's Brick Talk. I'm Randy, the guy. Sorry about that. So I've learned that whenever I do that, there is a bit of a early echo, and I don't like that early echo. But we've sorted it out. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, welcome again this week. This is Brick Talk. If you listen to us on Twitter, thank you for joining us. Twitter is the greatest place to join us because it allows you to join in the conversation. Just send a
Yep.
speaking request, and we will talk about whatever you want to talk about in the market, plus whatever our topic of the week is. This week, I was just doing some thinking, and I settled on the topic of the path of profit. Uh, and
Have we talked? Have we used that one before?
I wondered. I don't think so, but I'm
It
not
sounds
sure.
familiar.
It does. Don't, I know I talk about that stuff all the time, so I'm wondering if it's something that I just said, and it's in my head, or if I've actually used it
Hmm.
before. Anybody listening who knows, or especially if you listen from long before, let me know. Maybe we did it for earning season, like one of the earning season
Mm.
episodes. That
Good.
might have been it.
We did a lot of those. So.
Boy, yeah, that is true.
And, don't get the people started.
Oh God, oh God, oh God. I mean, I think by now anybody who liked it should still be enjoying it because it's right there the same way. But I don't know. You can
But
let us know if you want more. I see Gersect on YouTube said that he's very low on YouTube. I'm not sure why. If it's still low, you can let me know. I think I've seen high levels on my side, so I'm not sure. Gersect. Maybe it's you, Danai. Danai say something again. Let's see if everybody can hear you.
am I being hurt? What's going on, everybody? Everybody cool?
They will let us know in a moment, I guess. All right. So in the meantime, Danai, what's up? How's the market been treating you so far this week?
Treating me well, you know. I think that is when I look at the market one day and say, wait, the things are recover, man. And then here we are now. Some full swing recovery things kicking off. And dollar, dollar looking very, 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 very interesting. I'm seeing seemingly Chris, and Chris Berry, John Jackson
Mm-hmm.
calling the bottom, something like that, saying that boy, you look at the gas waiting out for the people that have been selling heavily. Kind of looking
Uh,
like that from my end too.
that's right.
Though
No,
I mean
continue. Sorry,
yes,
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Though I can see possible cases where yeah, it can push down heavier. The same thing we've been saying for uh, over a week now. That could take it further heavily, but it looks like a lot of people are starting to buy now. Starting to buy now.
Mm-hmm.
After the heavy the jumpers.
The flippers.
Probably they've jumped ship and gone already. Those darn flippers, them gone already.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got their damn profit and they gone about in business. Imagine. Wicked.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Need to
Yeah.
pour stock. Get them cash and go.
Yeah.
Cash grab.
Cash grab. Cash grab. Which market is
Yeah. It's a bag grab bag. Remember that game?
yeah.
IPO grab bag.
IPO grab bag, yeah. Boy, I remember the time when people were although people still think of the market as that though. People still think of the stock market, especially the local market as being I don't know, being a I don't want to say a casino, but some people think of it that
I
way.
don't know. I've yet to hear somebody who actually invests locally. Or it's funny. The people saying it,
Mm-hmm.
one, out of them don't invest locally. Two, out of them don't invest anywhere else either. So I'm not sure why I listen to them.
That's true. That's true. It's you know what it is. At least from my perspective, it's
Jamaica.
a situation. Yeah, it's a Jamaican thing. You know, it's a thing where we
Mm.
we we
Everybody can do it, but Jamaica can't do it too.
yeah, and we kind of look down at any
Jamaica doing it is not good enough.
yeah man. We look down at anything that's too local. You know, yeah, something look
Mm.
good, boy. It look
I
like
said
it
it's
make
too
a
local, man.
yeah. It look like it make a foreign, and if it allow the locals any sort of access, then it's something must be wrong with it, right? I
Hmm.
think that's just a Jamaican thing that we move past as we grow as a people. I hope. And I know as the stock market grows, we see it, because if you think about all the calls that people have been making in terms of how the stock market is going to die, it's supposed to dead every year for like the past
Every year.
10 years, right? It's supposed to dead from 2015, the
Oh
next year it's
gosh,
supposed to dead. 2016, the next year it's supposed to dead.
I said dead.
2017 it's supposed to dead. And now we're in 2022. I mean, COVID was supposed to kill it 2020,
What a hard man for that.
right?
But
2021.
then again, when you hear things like that, just ask somebody how the market dies. Just ask these people how the market dies, and you realize very quickly, oh, they're not really talking from an informed place. It's just I feel this way about something, so let me just moment for talk.
Yeah, that's actually a great point where a lot of times people
Yeah.
just don't. Yeah, that's a
How does the
Jamaican
market
thing.
die? Or
Exactly.
the prices of things fall? The market is dead now? How that work, bossy?
You
So,
know
so things
what?
are no longer listed because the price fell.
Exactly. What I've
Boy,
started. See,
Siboney
buddy.
price dropped from Siboney was at 1 cent at a time now, bro.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you're
And
right.
still not dead. Jesus, what a hard talk for them.
You're right. I mean, I look at those of you looking on now, big up mymoneyja.com for being our data sponsors. Easily the best place to get your information on any listed stock in Jamaica and to track your portfolio. But yeah, that point that you're making, I mean, just swinging my mouse on the screen, I can see there's a point when Siboney was at 2 cents per share. 2012 still, but 2 cents per share in 2012.
Dang.
Wow.
Look how music get life and getting life again.
Music, that's another one. Listed companies are very, very, very hard thing to kill. Bridget Amaya was talking to me, yesterday or earlier today. The days start running to each other, but he was talking about the same thing. He was saying how I always point out that a listed company is a very, very, very hard thing to kill, and it really is. Siboney is a dead company, but well,
It's still breathing. Dead and still breathing. Him again. All Sweet River.
That's an interesting
Up to
one.
recently, I heard draw breath.
That's a very, very
Though
interesting
I'm not
one.
sure if it's reporting or it is, but I don't know if the breath it drew was based on reporting or something is actually there.
That's an interesting one. Well, let me try and at least start us off officially and properly. Well, I did the intro already, but what I wanted to do was just to touch the points around the points that I had in mind around the path to profit. Because I know as people come in and they send a speaking request and they'll want to talk about stocks or specific things on the market or anything, they will, those will come, and oftentimes we get distracted by those tangents and lose the profit. Yeah, lose the initial topic. So the path to profit, brick talk. Really, when I'm talking about the path to profit, I just thinking, like I said in the blurb, every single time you make a decision on the stock market, what you're making a decision on is not just buy, sell, hold, blah, 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 but really, am I making a move now that will result in me making more money in the future or not, right?
That's exactly it.
Exactly. It always has to, it should always come back to that. Let me not say it always comes back to that.
Yeah, you're right. I've heard people say them invest and not make money before. So, the general idea is like no matter what level of decision making that brings you to I will buy this stock. For most people outside of those niche people that don't invest for money, your expectation is that, boy, I'm doing this because I think it's going to put money in my pocket at the end of the day. So somewhere, somehow, when I'm buying this, I'm going to get some benefit, some profit from it. Like even if it's just the wrong decision, even if it's, boy, I see the stock going down, I think it must come back up. Yeah, as much as that's an uninformed decision, don't really make sense in the grand scheme of things. You expect it to make your money, right? So even if you don't know nothing about this market and you pick a stock for the wrongest or wrong reasons, you do it because you think you can make some money from it.
Yeah. And me personally, I think the quicker that you admit that to yourself and the quicker you act like that, is the faster you get on that path to profit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I was going to say, the quicker you stop listening to anybody that tells you that they're not investing for money, then Yeah,
Yeah, that's that is
that's a
that
wrong
is
move right there.
a big wrong move. Yeah, listen, yeah,
The
yeah,
person don't love themselves. Don't expect them to love you.
exactly. And oftentimes those people say things that sound very nice, but not quite as profitable as you'd like it to be. So look out for that. So well,
I mean,
that brings me to
they're
the
not in for profit. So
exactly.
why would they say anything about profit?
Exactly. Which brings me to the next part of the thing, right? So not just what the problem is, or just looking at it, but if you're thinking of yourself as somebody who's trying to get on the path to profit, what kind of things should you be doing? Like I thought about it and I was just thinking about, in terms of a quick a quick set of points.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the quick points that I would look for? Like if I was telling somebody and I break it down to three simple things. Like one, you need to start off. You need some knowledge to start off, right? You have to have some
Mm-hmm.
knowledge in what you're doing. If you don't have the knowledge, you want to go out there and start looking for the knowledge. Once
Mm-hmm.
you decide that you've gotten enough knowledge, or you're still getting knowledge, because there's never enough. I mean, I'm still learning every day. I'm sure Danhai would tell you, still learning
Mm-hmm.
every single day. Um, I'm always looking for, okay, what next can I learn, or what have I not learned? What have I missed that I have not gotten to? Then the next thing you have to think of is, what do I actually want? What is my profit?
Mm-hmm.
What is that goal for me?
Mm-hmm.
And the grower guides know how big I am on the goals. The goals are every single thing for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to have that goal. And then I think just to cap it off, the third, you have to have a focus on the market, or the focus on wherever you're trying to make the profit, because the profit is not just from stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wherever you're trying to make that profit, you have to have a focus on it. You have to pay attention to it, as Buffett say, pay keen attention to the basket that you have your eggs in.
Basket.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have. I feel you have to have a good community. You have to have somebody, at least one other person, somebody else to talk about it. Because as good as I can be, as good as you can be, and as good as the people that we know are good can be, we're all better when we link. We're all better when we all link
Mm-hmm.
up. We're all better when
Right. That person knows something I don't know.
yeah, or see it a way that you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Yeah, when I posted this in the grow, not the grow, the every mickle investor, the news feed. So the news feed is a feed that anybody can join. It has all of the news articles from the JC and the newspapers and everything in there, right? And when this was posted in there, automatically from as the reminder for the thing this evening, somebody said in it that is this a reminder for Trans Jamaica? And because of the poster and the whole Brick driving the car and doing this, the scene from one of the Fast and the Furious movie, one of the million Fast and the Furious movies out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't thinking that at all. But that's a good example of having people that you can talk to about the market, because you might see something that you think you see everything in, and somebody else see it and they see a completely different picture, or they see one element that you just didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I think the third part comes in. I think that you need somebody else around. You need people around you that you can bounce ideas off, and it should be people that make sense to bounce ideas off. People that if them bouncing an idea off you, you can give them sensible feedback. You can help them actually get on that path to profit. And if you're bouncing an idea off them, it should be the same thing, right? There's no sense in. That's one of the problems, admittedly, that even I have. I don't have many
Mm-hmm.
people that I can talk to, and I know you have the same problem than I. You don't have many people that I
Mm-hmm.
can talk to. You probably have the problem worse now.
Yeah, because everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to talk to
Exactly.
me.
Loads of people would love to talk to me about stocks all the time,
And
and I don't have
it's
a problem with that, but it's not a
it's yeah,
conversation.
because it's exactly the conversation is very one sided. So it's not like you can always turn over and say, all right, you find that you're just pushing information, and then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, boy, you don't really get much from it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, my clients, that's fine in my mind to talk to them. I wouldn't give them the information, sure, but
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's not only the people that supporting you. It's always it's a random guy that's, hey, let me. I know that you know this thing. I know you spend many hours trying to learn this thing.
Yeah.
Let me just come and pick your brain and get all of it and just walk away.
Let me pick your brain.
Let me use your time,
Mm-hmm.
better myself, and cover my business. I don't care that it's your time. I don't care what you're doing with the time. But I'm gonna use your time as much as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's extremely crazy. Well, I shouldn't say it's crazy because I understand it from
I
the
understand it,
perspective.
yeah.
Yeah, because the
I
perspective
mean, I
one.
was there.
Yeah, there is that. You know, it is a two-sided thing. One, like you said, people look on you and they know that you know it, and then say, "Okay, let me just ask Danhai, let me just ask Randy." And two, I think a lot of people don't necessarily, they're not immediately aware of the value
Oh yeah,
of
definitely.
asking. So
They
they think
think
pick
of
your
it as
brain. Yeah,
it's just a question.
yeah, yeah. I'm not
It's just
asking
a let me
advice. I'm
ask them
just,
thing there.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't know that you have to get up now and say, yo, the thing I'm gonna tell this guy, I'm gonna actually have to research it.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't know. Like, I think I don't realize a lot of people don't realize that when they ask me something and I give them one of them nice answers, that what you seem just know all of these points.
No, 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 no.
I am looking it up. I am looking even sometimes even when I know it. I'm one of them people. Even when I know the word, I
Uh-huh.
look up the
You
meaning
have to
of
go
the
check
word.
it.
Yeah, man.
And that's why you're talking to me and you get that thing, you get a news article with it. Because I was actually go checking I ran to check that news article to make sure that the thing I was saying was right and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. As much as I know say I know it, I don't feel like I know it that much. So I cannot give that answer just so.
Yeah, man, doubt is the
Yeah.
hallmark of genius. Because you start doubt yourself and so you check. And that's funny
Mm-hmm.
because then you find, I see it in the girl subscribers group all the time when like having a conversations and the articles start flying. But like I make and that's maybe a deeper point. I make a point
Mm-hmm.
of note that, like, if I ask you, then well, since I mentioned the Trans Jamaica thing, I ask you something about Trans Jamaica, the answer can be an article.
Bro.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you know the thing is too, you ever get like you get the response, you
Mm-hmm.
get the article or you get the screenshot of something. I
Mm-hmm.
don't actually answer the question at all. As it the thing that the answer that they're trying to give is not in the thing they're sending. But they don't
Mm-hmm.
know that. They just find an article on this thing that it sounds like it's going to lead there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they want you to read the article and go tell them that the thing in there now. You they want you to find the answer in the article and answer yourself.
Yeah,
It's a,
and I don't know. For some people, I don't mind it if it's
mm-hmm,
part of the conversation. So, like, again, just like how you don't mind, and I think you can't mind if your customers just ask you. Like we always say
mm-hmm,
on this, I'm not an advisor. Danhai is an advisor. This isn't financial advice. If you link Danhai for financial advice, you don't have to go do the research and all that stuff that I'm talking about, right? Just ask him because
mm-hmm,
you're paying money. You're paying him money to not have to go through that. You're paying him
mm-hmm,
money to just tell me what to do, right?
mm-hmm.
For me, people are paying me money, at least how I see it, and I think how they see it also. They're paying me money to just help me learn how to do it so that I can do it on my
Mm-hmm.
own. And if I just tell you, then all I've taught you to do is to come to me for the information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you might feel good just in that moment, but it doesn't actually help you at any other point in the future. So the article on
Mm-hmm.
its own don't help. The article, if you highlight a point from it and then explain it and explain how it comes back to your point, which is annoying. But at this point along my journey, I can tell you that, yo, that is some of the most profitable annoyance that I've ever gone through in my life. Yeah. To the point where I love the annoyance now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, to the point where sometimes if it's not annoying enough, if it's just there in the headline, I'm like, yo, something off. This too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Something wrong. What are they hiding?
Yep. Gosh, man.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it's so funny. The what are they hiding stuff is usually what are they hiding stuff is usually it's not necessarily that something is wrong. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
it's oftentimes just so plain that yo nobody else wants to. It's kind of like the same music thing that you mentioned. Music,
Mm-hmm.
SSLVC. What are going to name now? MFS, MFSC.
Something, so.
Something, yeah. That one is surprising. Did
Mm-hmm.
we spoke about it on here last week? Well, I think we mentioned the Kalila interview.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Yeah, just I mentioned that one again. That I won't go deep into it. But again, I'll do the same thing I would do every week. You guys are welcome to send your speaking requests. Talk about a stock that you want. Send a question. We'll talk about if you're talking about a stock. We're more than ready to have a conversation on any stock that you have in mind. Um, And I think it can be a very fruitful conversation for all involved.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And yeah, if eh, I'm picking my words carefully, but yeah, I think if you follow the path of profit I just laid out, which is as simple as get some knowledge, set your goals very clearly, and get some people that you can talk to and have a real conversation with about your goals in the market. If it's even just you and your friend just start try the stocks thing, because there are a lot of people
Uh-huh.
that have been done that, have been doing that. Them and them friend just start the stocks thing, and them the two of them or the three of them don't really know, but them working through it together, and before you know it, the three of them, as much as all three of them still feel lost, the three of them tend to have a much better set of results than maybe if you're just doing it on your own, and certainly better than
I
if you
mean,
just.
exactly how I started. Like it was just a bridging saying, "Yo, we're going to do this. Start investing, whatever." One of them already started investing, and two of us jump on the wagon.
Mm-hmm,
Eventually, two became four, and then that was us talking about stocks because we had no way to make sense of these things.
mm-hmm.
Why? Okay, we link up, we meet Randy in him group, but end of the day, if I ask Randy a question, him ask back a question. So at least we can have a conversation at the level, at a comfortable level here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was that for a good while. It was pretty profitable. So
Yeah, yeah. It's a it was worked out pretty well, I think, for all of you guys, and it was
indeed. Oh yeah, definitely.
it's a funny thing how that it's always the same thing. It's so annoying. I don't know if people realize or believe when I tell you them say, yo, it annoys me too. I hate to have to ask it. But here at Danhai say, it's the same thing I did. Him ask questions, and it's not that I don't give him the answer. It's that I ask him back a question. It's not just a random question, I just ask him back because I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to answer, right? The, if you answer that question, just like the people that you might hear come here and ask us questions and talk to us about things. If you just have the conversation and actually answer the questions that we ask, you realize that you get so much more information than just if I must buy NCB or not, or what's happening with Siboney, or what's happening with
Mm-hmm.
Cygnus, or what's happening with JMMB, right? Um, just how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So I
shout
see
out,
too.
yeah, shout out again to the people on YouTube. Guys, if you're on YouTube and you want to ask a question, the best place to ask a question is to join us on Twitter and actually just come and join the conversation. If you're on Twitter having a and you want to ask us something, send a speaking request and we are more than ready to talk to you. But
But yeah,
also,
man, that continue, sorry.
no, I was just saying to people, but also I don't make no mistake. I am perfectly fine standing here and talking to Dan if I know about the market.
Yeah.
I,
No, trust me, we done
yeah,
that.
yeah.
We have many
So
episodes of that.
yeah,
But
so
yeah,
if
think there. I keep continuing.
no man,
Finish
go
your
ahead,
point,
go
bro.
ahead, go on,
Oh no,
cut me, cut me. Go
I
ahead.
was going to just go along the same line as boy. How annoying it is because in fact, I make a point to myself to not even engage more when like I see you as asking. I know like sometimes I said, boy, I cannot really give this man his answer and scare, but that's just make Randy or Jerry go give them the whole rundown answer. Sometimes I even stop myself halfway. I start it. I know
Uh-huh.
that it's a good thing I'm in a space where people get pick it up and go do it
Mm-hmm.
because it's annoying the knowing that I know the answer to this person's question.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot to bring them on the whole go around because I know that if I go tell them, it's not going to work out well. Then we get only this level of information suppose I ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or
but yeah man.
sometimes, yeah, but even if you don't get it wrong, even if you're completely right, even if you're
Mm-hmm.
completely right,
I know
and
I
you,
help them. Help them this
yeah,
one time.
exactly.
Give them a fish. Never teach them anything about fishing.
Exactly. And oftentimes, what you've really done is you've encouraged them to just next time I need something, I'm gonna come right back to Danai because
Mm-hmm.
right? And you've set a precedence though. So Danai will help me. Danai will tell me. No, I'm never bridging. Danai will tell me anything, man. How much people in can tell you say, yo, now I know who to talk to if I need to have a question about the market.
Uh-huh.
Not as a
Oh
customer,
gosh.
just as a
Oh
messy.
bro, trust. Yeah man. Yeah man.
It is.
I, I, I don't think I have enough time for myself. I can't like, to the point where my DM request is a crazy place. I know business is there. Like some people message me about business, and I get to them late often because I know that like the time is not there to check it very often, and then two, I know what most of it is. It's just yo. What you think about? What you think about? I can't really can't sit down and have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the funny thing is, like, well, I think this is a nice enough forum for what you think about to happen once a week. Like, I think that, yo, if you want to know what we think about a stock, join, send a speaker request, and let's talk and pick the stock. If it's a guaranteed way to get us to talk about at least the one stock that you have in mind, join and let's have a conversation about it. I can assure you of something. It is almost certain that you have more than enough knowledge to talk about that thing, even though you think you don't. Yeah, I don't know
Agreed.
it like, oh no. Chances are you know it.
That's fine.
You know it a
Yeah,
lot more than you think.
I do often know it like us, and very often you know it. You do something about it that we never really see it that way or something like that. There's some perspective you have to bring to the table that maybe we just don't have, and think of how much times we've had that conversation. So like where we put ourselves in like a forum where we can answer questions, and somebody comes with a question, and because them ask, we like yo like that finger snap light bulb moment. We say wait, like turn to Randy and say wait there. That thing him just say kind of like, very often just having that conversation just leads us on another dimension to probably that company, and then the conversation we're having about that company is not broader just because you asked about this very specific thing that you never thought was anything, and they wouldn't know the conversation is broader, but you're getting some gold now because boy you got if you just ask and whatever, you either get this. But no, you're asking, add your perspective to it, then no, you get this plus that.
Yeah. And it's repeatable. Just a conversation becomes a repeatable learning thing. Yeah, you learn long before you even realize that you're learning. It just occurred to me that people might have been sending requests and I just not seeing them, because I'm looking at the wrong app. I hope not. If you have sent a request, I didn't see it before. You can send one back. If you're not, you're just listening to us. Then evening and whatever we talk about, whatever you get. If you want us to talk about something specific, you have to jump on and send a speaking request. If you're just listening, then you listen to whatever we talk about. What's an interesting thing you see in the market this week, Danhai? Oh, JC said I'm doing them upgrades next week. That's interesting too.
Yes. Quite. Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. Monday.
Big Fingers Monday. Crossed. What's happening Monday? Anything very, very important happening?
That would
definitely want to think that. Like I want to see the upgrade, but I don't know. The usual when upgrade go on. Yeah. You know tech.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I shouldn't say it's an upgrade. It's not an upgrade. As Dr. Street Forest has been very clear to point out in one of her articles that in an article that she was commenting, or she's quoted in, she was saying that it's not an upgrade. It's just features. It's more features being added on. I'm excited to see the features being added on. They pointed out some of them being being able to keep track of like some of the money in your portfolio. What was another one? Being able to unlock your account without calling the JSC. That is a major.
Boy, it's a lot of things that people have been balling for years. So love the move. Really, yeah. The better J trader, the better we are, right? So love that.
Yeah, definitely love that move personally. I myself, like, I know that the only time my JTrader account gets locked is when I absolutely need it right now.
Brother. Yeah, thing there. When I was the morning, I was supposed to think the morning to put in the JFP order. First day when JP before I think that I put in my thing there wrong twice. Come wake up, I decided I woke up early that day, and I put in my order. I put in my thing there. My what do you call it now? Security question wrong twice.
Oh, sorry. Oh Lord, is that an immediate lock, or is
no three times? So I was sweating on that last time. Boy, I've never because I know the JC wake up at 6 o'clock.
At all.
So see me here saying, Jano, if we get this wrong, we think that, and it's I was fat fingered because I was thinking, again, I just wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Man, yeah,
So imagine me get locked out there, so. Yeah.
that would have been rough, and then the next day would have
Pain.
been Eddie Focal. So, whew, whew. Yeah, that would have been painful. With the next day being Eddie Focal, because you'd get dropped twice. And, and to their credit, to JC's credit, they have managed to make that calling system work a lot smoother than I would have
Yes.
expected for a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I've said it many times. I haven't had an issue calling. The issue is calling. That's my issue the whole process. Calling them.
Yeah.
When I call them and get them, sort out same time and deal them good and you go about your business. Account open. Yep.
Yep. But if you're like Danhai or like me, where I don't want to talk to anybody, and I just want to work with my computer, and I don't need another human in the process. And you get jokes. So them having that upgrade is not upgrade, update is a wonderful thing, I think. And big up them for doing that.
Indeed.
It comes out Monday. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
A couple of people are asking me about my money JA. They're saying, oh, you're not worried with my money JA. Let me just point it out, make it very, very clear. We're not competing with J Trader. Like a better J Trader is better for all of us. If J Trader gets better, all happens is that the user gets more, and my money JA works well with everybody and J Trader. So we're not looking at it as competition. Some people saying, oh, you guys must have spurred them on to the this because they weren't doing it before.
That's fine.
You're welcome. It's a little better than the tweets. I tried tweets for years and that never worked. So I'm glad that this is working, and I'm glad that they're also working more on their messaging. And they said that you're going to get notices on the platform. I'm just very, very happy.
I want to see that one.
Yeah, man. Order management, manage fund. You can cancel your funding without contacting your broker.
Bro, I used to wonder. I've been wondering for, when you put. God, I couldn't see, for the life of me, couldn't see why I need to tell this guy to cancel the thing when I say I don't want that money, leave, or I don't want that money come on, or I think it's the wrong amount. Why would I need to tell the broker to do that? Yeah, man. So that change is well needed. Love that.
Yeah.
Big up JC for that, man.
I wonder about the whole funding fund out process though, because especially like what Dollar showed us with the whole funding in after when J Trader was under pressure, and I guess maybe funding out now. I don't know if people are funding out now that maybe like you said the dollar. I don't want to say the dollar hype, but it kind of is hype, right? The dollar hype is kind of dying.
I know exactly a pain in using the word hype, because everybody going to take it in the worst way possible to somehow mean something other than, hey, our people like this thing.
Yeah, man.
Or else people are talking about this thing. It's gosh.
I have an unusual thing for Jamaicans to say. I have so much more respect for politicians now when I think about the heavy weight that is placed on your words. Because if you stay like me, I absolutely abhor hearing somebody say, I hate being lied. Everybody, I think, hates being lied on. I hate when somebody says a lie on me. But I also hate if you not even worse, but I hate if somebody take your words and put some other meaning to it.
Brother.
Jeez, you wept. And then said, no, but him says so.
But him says.
He said it was hype. He said the hype.
Maybe the things are you, the conviction here, the things are you say so. Like, wow. Yeah, man. Same, bro. Same.
Yeah. I hate
it.
But, yeah, but so, know that a lot of the verve, I think, is falling out of the dollar thing, and being very plain. I think the people who got in looking for a very early flip have had an opportunity between the 20th of June and today to get that flip. I mean, even if you flipped today, it flipped at an average of, assuming you're just flipping your IPO volumes, you flip at an average of 178% profit. Right?
You are not upset
at all. I mean,
I'm not you are very, 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 very ambitious.
yeah, and nothing wrong with ambition, but then chances are
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, chances are I would suspect that you didn't get a lot. I suspect that maybe your strategy wasn't, your tactics in this thing wasn't very It wasn't geared around
On
getting a
point.
lot of money. Yeah, because chances are if you're flipping, you're flipping at a 178, you bought at IPO, which means you didn't, unless you're in the reserve, you didn't get a lot of units.
More
So
than it's yeah.
yeah, so like big up the grower grads. So I see making some talk about some of the things they did around dollar and they got more units, not because they got in the IPO, but they bought after.
Moves.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you think about it, it's so funny. I said it in the girl group, but we spoke about it on the show, and I asked like a week or two before dollar opened. I was asking people those questions around dollar, and I'll do it again tonight if anybody sends a speaking request. I'll do it and we'll talk about it. But I pretty much laid it out for you that I said it plainly to some people. You're not gonna get it at 250. You're not gonna get it at 150. You're not gonna get it at 275. I mean, maybe you get it at 275 today. Did it trade at 275 today?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. It's a lot of trades, Yo.
Yeah, man. Yo, bro, the amount of trades that are swinging for this thing. Brother, when I saw the order list at 10 o'clock, day before yesterday, I was shocked. I said, yo, wait. There was so much things go through. And in the end of the day, just wow.
When Wednesday, like I said, before 10 o'clock at Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Wednesday would have been the 22nd. And
Wednesday, no, third. Wednesday,
yesterday.
Check Wednesday, check Thursday.
Wednesday by 10 a.m. According to the list on My Money JA, pick up My Money JA following us to see this. My God. Whew.
Yeah, man.
By 10:01, we had 706 trades in dollar.
Imagine.
Wow. Wow. No, okay. Is that a lot? Is that a lot? If you don't have any context, if you don't have any context, you might not know. Is that a lot? Let me try and give you some context as to how much 706 trades in one stock a few days after it's listed is. Some context around it. So today is the 24th of June. 24th of June when we're recording this. If you're hearing us in the future, hi, we recorded this at the end of June. Whatever major thing happened, we didn't know it was going to happen until now. Maybe we should have thought about the monkeypox thing a little harder, but we're kind of tired. Anyway, just to give you a little idea of what the whole market looks like. At this point when we're speaking, in terms of the number of trades on the market from the start of the year till now, there are, 706 at 10 o'clock. There are 54 securities on the JSE. 54 securities on the JSE that have not traded 700 trades from January 1 till today. And for dollar to do 706 trades between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, the first 30 minutes of trading.
The market. Jesus.
Oh God, massive. Yo, dollar for me is at this point, it's a wonderful study in what the new retail looks like. Because it's heavy retail. Heavy retail. And that comes with its own, what would I say? I don't want to say
pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons. It comes with its own pros and cons. It is extremely interesting to me. I mean, that same day that you're talking about, and this is the Wednesday, that same day, by the end of the day, we had 1,899 trades. Again, just for some context, out of the 99 companies on the JSE, out of the 99 companies on the JSE from the start of January till now, minus with the exception of dollar, there are only 38 stocks that have traded more than dollar did on that one day. Yeah, it's a new beast. It is a massive beast. Funny thing, Danhai.
Yo.
Dollar is not the most traded stock so far year to date. What do you think that is?
Oh, transfer maker.
No man, I'm not talking volumes here. I'm talking the amount of trades. number of trades.
Amount.
So a lot of people tend to get caught up on it. They count the volume, but that's a trick. You can't count the volume. Yeah, you
Amount
can't.
of trades.
Yeah, the amount of trades is the real thing I look at. So there's a tidbit for you guys. Something that that's one of the things that I use to see if the person I'm talking to, if they're an expert and they say they know what they're talking about and they're talking to me about volume, that immediately let me know if they actually know what I'm talking about or not. So the number of trades is the thing that I'm looking at. And I'll give you the chance to guess before I tell you that now.
Yeah, I'll scroll the market list and see if I
Think about it, because I know if you
Definitely.
give it a second thought, you'll know.
I mean, my first instinct is NCB, but I feel like kind of around there. So
Because you're thinking of the typical thing, which is true. NCB usually has
yeah, but it kind of fall off now.
yeah. Well, I mean, fall off ish. NCB is the 15th most traded stock from January till now, from the start of the year till now. 16th, I should say, 1-6. You know, but you just start thinking
16.
about yeah, NCB is number 6. Okay, you're right. There's a lot of NCB trades any given day. There's like 5,780 NCB trades from the start of the year till now. Because NCB trades heavily. It's a stock that a lot of people.
CPJ.
No, CPJ is the 4th, actually. 4th or 5th? CPJ is the 5th most traded stock on the JSE. Mind that coughing, brother.
It is exactly what it is. I'm surprised I'm right here right now, to be honest.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, you can't go nowhere. You have to stay apart from people. If people
Yeah,
care.
but you know.
Yeah.
No, I mean more sleep on them thing there, but yeah, I have the energy this evening.
Yeah. The COVID sleep is terrible, brother. You sleep for hours and wake up
Brother,
and still tired.
the way me I sleep in between the session, them that's the hardest. But the hardest part was John. Cool, I've worked now. I have to be in the I have to go in the mode for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know them ways. Like I still feel it. And I'll feel it tomorrow, but I won't show it when I do grow. By the way, so if you're looking for grow, tomorrow is the last grow for the month. Outside the advanced grow, we're doing short-term investing. Tomorrow is the last main grow for the month, and yeah, this is your last chance to sign up between tonight and 10 o'clock tomorrow. If I look like this
Where
tomorrow,
Cygnus and thing that fall under this, and
Cygnus
and
dead not the
Weekton fall
show.
under this.
Weekton dead not the show. Weekton, of course, have the volumes, but think about it's a junior market company.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, man. Remember, if I'm equating number of trades to
I know I don't. My head, it feel like a trick question. I don't want to say IPO. That's why learn comes easily.
Well, I'll tell you this: Learn is the 10th most traded stock on the JSE from the start of the year till now, till this exact moment where we are. Both in terms, by the way, both in terms of volume and trades. Learn Edifocal is the 10th most traded stock on the JSE.
Fesco, is that you?
There we go. It's actually number one, Fesco. Yeah, which makes sense. Think about it again. So
it does. As I said, it does make sense. But Jesus.
Yeah.
But it made enough sense and good reason. Jesus.
Yep. A lot of the how would I say? A lot of the things that I've learned and picked up anecdotally, the stuff that privately I look at the data, I look at but I'm trying to have an idea of what the overall market looks like in terms of retail influence. Learn was a good one, but Fesco really show what the market care about. You see, like these days when early in the year, February, March, when those heavy volumes were moving, it's a bunch of regular people like you and me just buying it and selling it, right? It's not necessary. Yes, the directors were buying heavily, but who were the directors buying from?
Right? Yeah.
And yes, sometimes directors were selling. Who are they selling to? Yeah, I point out, looking at some of the insider trades, that like there are days when there's looking for one or two of the notices where they point out that the director just sold like a couple million units to the open market. Yeah. A director also sold 5 million Fesco shares on March 1 on the open market.
Mm-hmm.
and it just that's March 1.
Because I know
No, but on that
3
date,
months ago.
granted there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of director movement, and I'm sure maybe their own people that might have bigger money can buy and they're not connected, so you don't see it. But
Mm-hmm.
the market itself just soaked up those volumes nonetheless, and the price continued to rise because people are buying it higher and
Mm-hmm.
higher. That to me tells me what the retail is paying heavier attention to. Heavier attention to
Mm-hmm.
the naturally people can pay heavier attention to the things that they can see in their day to day. So I can see the
Mm-hmm.
gas price every day. People complain about the gas price every day. Every as them read it on news, them go outside and change it upon the thing, upon the sign. So so I see it and it hurt me. I'm a vex. And so my only little revenge I can take is I try and make some money off it. And then what kind how poetic is it that, I am making I'm making money off gas prices while complaining about gas prices. That's the best one, complain
Mm-hmm.
and profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think heavy retail movements here, and I was wondering when are you going to see something like that again? And so that's why I looked at Eddie Focal in March, because Eddie Focal in March also, brought out a lot of the retail. A lot of people love the idea of Eddie Focal. Everybody can understand learning. Um, it was near pep time too, so I think a lot of people, parents and people who know about pep and so on, you get the regular I think there's always a level of retail push in an IPO, but
Mm-hmm.
then and I don't know what I want. Well, I say publicly because I think about it and I think it grows the whole market when we talk about it. JFB I know was right before, and every
Mm-hmm.
IPO has a large amount, especially now, a larger amount of retail investors pulling and pushing in the market. So you get a
Mm-hmm.
good gauge of what retail footprint in the market is and the new retail footprint, people coming in whenever an IPO happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Focal
Mm-hmm.
coming right on the heels of JFP also allow me to know, okay, let me see how the retail market reacts to double, I don't say double stresses or red herrings. Let me see how the retail market reacts to two distracting things where most retail investors, I'm assuming here, because I have to use some amount of assumption, most retail investors, most new investors especially, aren't going to try and put their money in both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I either like JFP or I like Learn or I like if I like Fesco, I make a whip of money off Fesco. When JFP come, I sell all of the Fesco and put the money in a JFP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right on the heels of JFP's prospectus was Eddie Focal's prospectus. Right on the heels of JFP's listing, literally. The 14th of March was JFP, the 15th of March was Eddie Focal. It gave me an idea of what would a distraction look like, how would it pull
Mm-hmm.
things out of the market. And we saw it with JFP. JFP never got the sort of wild push that pretty much every other recent IPO has gotten, meaning in terms of, the heavy, I wouldn't say push, maybe pull is a
Power up,
better.
power up, power up.
Exactly. The halting up for multiple days. It got one day. Did it halt up on the first
Mm-hmm.
day?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. JFP. Actually, don't know if we've updated that nice halt feature on My Money JA to show the halts as they happen during the day, but we might not have backdated it. So yeah, you're right. We don't have the halt how it looks. No, but
To the price.
no, yeah, but there's a big
Actually.
gap. So there's a huge gap on the chart because yeah, there was a hell of a halt then, but
Mm-hmm.
not quite the same kind of halt and soft response throughout the day, and then the very next day we got people and people selling and selling low on the first day, which is not a normal thing as we saw from dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody selling on the first day below a certain amount, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
JFP kind of just on the heels of that, it was a good idea. It showed me that okay, it gave me a good idea of where the retail footprint was. Eddie
Mm-hmm.
Focal, which didn't have anything on its heels then, because other than to compete with it than JFP, but it came right after. Eddie Focal in Learn had a hell of a pull, as we expected. The usual thing. We saw the same thing with the Godfather of the market calling the peak at 350 odd. Generally this date here, 359 on the 21st, and a small dip then, and then it has kind of stayed level at that $3 level for a little while. Three dip a little below recently with dollar, and it come back up, and it dip a little bit and it come back up, which is fine, which is what expected. But dollar is, I say all of this to say that dollar has so far at least been blowing my mind in that the shape of the thing looks pretty much the same. So you know it got softness on the 22nd, which would have been what, the 6th day of listing, followed by softness the day after that. A lot of people selling as it pass. It hits the 330 odd, coming back down to 304, and of course, you know, coming close to 304, so you have a lot of people reacting how they react. It dropped below 3 to the high twos, and it fell today down to 278, with people offering it even cheaper. The reference price being
Look at that
270.
technical analysis.
Oh Lord, don't. You see, I told you Randy does technical analysis. Down to too much technical analysis, so I don't call it that. But yeah, down to 278, and selling pressure, if you will, to use one of John Jackson's favorite terms, selling pressure in a weird way too, because there's, in terms of orders, the number of buy orders are still way ahead of the sell. Yeah, we're looking on 733 sell orders versus 1,103 buy orders still at this point. Over 1,000 buy orders at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, that is still heavy demand, depending on how you measure demand. But I mean, Monday morning you can sell down to $2. That's still 100%. Imagine that. Damn. Yeah. Sorry. So that's my sermon on the state of the new retail market and its path to profit. And how I think it looks and is looking going forward. I think the next few listings will be very, very interesting. I think if JPS ever does come to market, it will be extremely interesting to see how that looks.
If it is very interesting.
Yeah, man. If JPS is priced properly, let's say it's priced like a Wigton, so they price it with a good PE at I would say if they do like my preferred listing price. Let's say they do $1. And that's not my preferred. I have to be very careful because people mishear what we say. $1 is not my preferred listing price. I am saying, let us say that they list at $1, which is a typical listing price now, and it is priced properly. So the however many shares are being offered and how they're valuing the company, the $1 works out to a good enough PE that, you know, it's good how it is. So it doesn't require the broker clique to pretend that it's priced well. Great. Yeah, it actually is great, right? Yeah, if that happens, you know. And if they do, if the pensions and the big houses are not given guaranteed units, so if it's done like Wigton, where it's bottom up allocation, open bottom up allocation, so we know it's bottom up allocation, so the poor man on the street and the poor woman on the street can get a chance to get as many units as first come first serve. Yeah, and it's, you know, whoever comes with the smallest allocation gets all of it, and then we go from there. So the big boys obviously have to eat last, and if there's anything left over, them can buy it on the market from the rest of us. If that happens,
I really want to see that, you know. I mean, I really want to see a bottom up fight.
My God,
don't kill the vibes with this man getting a pension pool. Come the hell on, man.
Yeah. A pension pool can kill that listing.
That's funny, you know. It kill it, and it's also it's not giving the benefit it act like it's giving. It really is not. Right, well, it's not this. It's funny. The pretense of the benefit, where the people are benefiting because of their pension. Like, come on, you and me know say no go so.
Right.
And then the pension benefits and the pension make money. Simple as that.
Exactly. If the
And
pension
giving the
lose
pension
money,
pool,
yeah.
exactly.
Sorry,
Giving the
sorry to cut.
pension pool,
Mhm.
no, exactly that. Giving the pension pool to me it gives a stronger likelihood of underperformance than I think than the bottom up. Like I expect a bottom up I expect a bottom up allocation to perform better than I think than the same company doing the pension thing there. Doing give with a pension pool.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, let's play let's play government's advocate. Um, from the perspective, as we know, from the perspective of the listing company, the real
Mm-hmm.
truth is outside of you giving like your PR and yapping if you don't understand the market,
Uh-huh.
oversubscription don't really mean nothing.
Not one thing.
Yeah, it don't really mean a thing, right?
Not one thing.
Um, yeah, and in JPS's case, it's not like the money is going to JPS. The money is going
Mm-hmm.
to the government of Jamaica who needs it. We know the government needs it. So the government is going to
Mm-hmm.
want to get as much money as it can. If I was sitting in Dr. Clark's position, me playing, as I said, a politician's advocate, um, what are your arguments to me to not guarantee that the pensions will give me the money? Because all I want is the money. I don't really care what happens on the market afterwards.
It's JPS.
Yeah, I don't care. All right, so I'm assuming that from Dr. Clark's perspective here, and I'm using Dr. Clark to represent the government.
Mm-hmm.
From his perspective,
The pension is a nice guarantee, basically.
yeah, he's only doing it because we need the money. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
care who
Yeah.
give me the money,
Mm-hmm.
right? And moreover, I have kind of adjusted the pension limits over the last few years. Let me be careful saying this. I don't know that it's in anticipation of this. He adjusted the pension limits, which is an amazing thing, and I think something like this would benefit from that adjustment. So I know
Mm-hmm.
that I did that adjustment, and I know how much money is out there in terms of pensions.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I go through the why should I go bottom up? Why not just guarantee the money because I need the money?
The nice gesture, I think, a nice vote next thing there, next election.
You think so? I don't know. That's a good
In
question.
truth, yeah, in truth, it's a very good thing there. From his perspective, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very good thing to do the pension pool because no matter how the performance is, then you already have said these guys make a commitment to buy in on that pool, then you're good. And then
But
the listing broker are very likely to throw their pensions into it.
oh yeah,
If so, in
and
case.
yeah, and government pensions also are included in this, and government pension
Mm-hmm.
that's more money than so many things, right? So you just want
So
the
many.
money. Yeah, if you just
Mm-hmm.
want the money, yeah, why am I going to complicate the road for the money?
Yeah.
You made a good point around elections, but I
No,
feel like financial literacy is so low that Dr.
exactly.
Clark,
I don't think
yeah,
people. I don't think it's swaying people to think that to make a decision
yeah, I think he
that much where
gets,
John O'Malley vote
yeah,
based on thing there.
I
I
think he
think
gets that
it's
vote
a
no matter
tick.
what. I think he gets that vote no matter what, just based on what he's done so far. I mean, at this point, I think he has a strong argument for maybe the best finance minister we've had ever. Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think much.
What you saying? You don't think many people vote based on
Yeah,
his finances prowess, right?
I think yes. Yeah, I mean, that's twofold. Because yes, there's a good amount of people that will think that those are the people you want. Those are the people better. People you sway.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really betting on. You're not betting on the guy that already going book JLP, PNP, no matter what you do. You're betting on the guy that can change your mind. So yes, sure. But end of the day, I don't know that this is the thing that will sway that much people. Again, as I mentioned, financial literacy. So how much people actually get up and say, "Oh, and then the IPO is IPO. Everything else up nice with it. We make 10 grand off him. I forgot make something else I will go on too."
Yo, that's a good point. Actually, that's a good point in your favor. Yeah. If them come in and buy the IPO and it don't go up,
Brother.
yeah, that's a good point. It might need to be priced for growth because you can't bring in everybody because something like JPS, you want to bring in as many Jamaicans as you can. Um, you can't bring in everybody though, and them disappointed. Like the people, it's just because the rest of the market bubbles so well. While bubble meaning it is going well, and not that it's a bubble.
That's money too smart. Yeah.
Right? I do not think that the market is in a bubble. I'm saying that it's just because the market has risen so well. I think why a lot of the Trans Jamaica IPO, um, Trans Jamaica IPO applicants are not necessarily as angry because I talk to them talk to me directly all the time. I do grow them, talk to them, talk to us here, they talk to me
Mm-hmm.
one away, them send DMs. Some of them people are vexed. They've been
Yeah. Oh
vexed.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, bro. I talk to them all the time. I
been,
talk to them all the time. Oh gosh.
and some of them had
Oh
put a
gosh.
lot of money in.
Oh yes, and then
Yeah,
find them scrape everything, and then hear
yeah,
about week time, and then
yeah,
it wasn't week time.
yeah. And while I don't put that on the minister, I do put it on the I do put it on the broker. I do put it on how it was priced. I think
Mm-hmm.
in a Monday morning quarterbacking, I wasn't in the room when the decisions were being made, but I think it was priced. I think it could have been priced better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So imagine that. Imagine having to make that decision as to forcing as a politician how it should be priced. And I again, much respect to Dr. Clark, but then I don't know if he's in the market like that. And
Oh
all it
gosh,
is,
and then even then, think about that as well. His perspective is, I get X amount of money.
yeah.
If his motivation then is getting the money, then his influence to the prices, proper pricing, wouldn't necessarily lead to our best interest.
But you have to think
And
about the votes
overprice
too.
works better for the government.
Yes, of course. And it's JPS. You can only sell the thing
You
one time.
exactly you can
This
actually
way.
you can sit on sentiment,
Yes.
and you know it is. You make enough shares that you can price it at whatever. So it could be $1 now, and it's looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could have overpriced down to $1, and then it's JPS. It don't deal. Sell off. Per farmer. We raise X amount of money. Go about with business.
Yeah. Hmm. Um. Let me pause and take one of our first people to send a speaking request. Thank you very much for your patience, Adriel or Platinum as Black. I hope I got the name right.
Alright, good man. Yeah, man, you pronounce my name right.
Okay, what's up? What's up,
Adriel, what's
Adriel?
going on, boss?
Yeah, man, I'm here. Well, I really wanted to speak about phosphate, really and truly.
That's a
What
good
about
point.
it?
Well, before I'm going to interrupt you since you're the first person on, and I clicked your profile just now, and I see you have Row Farms. I kind of biased to that name. What's Row Farms? You see, you getting a free ad. What's Row Farms?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, we set we still farm fresh produce. So if you're listening into this, next week, Saturday coming, we'll be there on 20 Beachwood Avenue 6. So it should come out.
Word, big up. An
Yeah,
actual farmer.
I've seen your posts. Yeah, man. I love the movement.
Yeah, man. I starting up a thing, hopefully it can take off.
Do it.
Yeah, big up. Will help with that. But what? Tell me now, are you an actual farmer? Or are you
Yeah,
just
man.
like
Yeah,
provide
man.
an offer for farmers?
So it's both between ourselves and we
Mm-hmm.
also sell produce for other farmers in that we buy and sell. So it's both,
Mm-hmm.
So you get profit from the produce that you farm yourself because you also have the market for it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're also buying and selling. So you make up the profit from the produce that you don't have to buy. So it
Mm-hmm.
works out.
Word, word. I like how that sound, man. All kind of things in the sell. I want me to say people come support the thing, so all kind of things, especially now when everything going up. I was talking to my lawyer earlier. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and it's pointing out that he pays attention to a lot of his prices. He's saying he was 60% more him seeing in some things than he was paying a year ago.
Well, yeah. So basically, with the dust that happened the other day, A lot of the crops were damaged by that, so you find that a lot of things are scarce.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm no economist, but it's basic supply and demand. And so because of that, you find that the prices are going up. But what I try to do is, I try to, in terms of margin, I try
Mm-hmm.
not to take so much of a margin, but it's a lot more difficult when you have less people coming out. So the more people come out, the better it is for us,
Mm-hmm.
and the better it is for them as well.
All
Makes
right. You
sense.
love that. You do delivery or anything like that? Because some people might not be able to make it, but they might take a delivery.
No delivery yet, but I'm working on doing like a pickup system in that you can send in your order. I know some
Mm-hmm.
people work on Saturday, so you send in your
Mm-hmm.
order so you don't have time to shop around. Send in your order, I can set that up for you. You just come and you pick it up. Not big enough to do deliveries as yet.
Well, you might be surprised. Somebody might be listening and they want to do the delivery business, so they might be willing to
Link with you,
link with you and
partner with you.
and yeah, because if I'm home and I can't make it, I if I seen some prices on your IG page and I'm showing it on YouTube for anybody watching. um if I wanted to buy like the ripe banana 400 a hand, and I decide I'm buying some ripe banana, but the delivery company is like, yeah, it's 400 for the banana, but it's 500 if we deliver it to you. I pay them the bills or the two. I won't pretend like I know these prices. I personally I would pay the $600, but my born and grow town, so my
And
fool, my fool to them
and
thing there.
definitely, I try not to make anyone feel alienated to the process. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's probably never had to do that before, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. I mean, you come and I just tell them, say, all right, I'll fill out the bag. How much of this you want? And you say, all right, stop. And then I wait and I say, all right, so this is a pound. So you want a pound? And they're like, yeah, that's how much I want. Or the banana, maybe some people don't want a whole hand. I can cut it in half and say you want this amount. So I try not to make them feel alienated to the entire process. You know, it's buying food and I want people to eat healthy.
All right. Well, big up, big up, big up, and Row
Come on,
Farms.
boss. Big up. Love the move. Love the move.
Yeah, love
Raw
that.
farms.
Come on.
Row Farms is
Let's
Row Farms
keep
because
it short.
your name Row.
Yeah, my name is Ro.
What you say? Which side of the world you come from?
Um, well, from Kingston. My father is from St. Elizabeth, so I guess you would be looking to him. So we're from St. Elizabeth, basically. We live in St. Elizabeth now.
My mother is from St. Elizabeth. So what going, cousin? Talk to you about the first now.
Passage, passage. I have, I think first is interesting as well, but I wanted to look at first and the
Mm-hmm.
proposed, I think, 10 to 1 stock split. I think that should drive, well, create some nice implications for the stock itself. In that, what's it trading at right now?
Fosrich. It is currently at
Yeah,
$31.97 per share. Danhai said to me the other day, we were talking privately. Danhai said to me, say, yo, what was the thing you said, Danhai, 2 years ago? How much was it?
Was it $4?
$4. Yeah, so
$4.
June 2022 is where we are now. And if you go to
Mm-hmm.
June 2020, June 25th, 2020, you can get Fosrich for $3.78.
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. End of
so,
June, 401. Damn.
so it's really interesting. I think many people look at a $30 stock and they're like, it's a good company. But then the stock split, it should open. I guess I'm thinking, based on my thinking, that it should, push the price or push the market somewhat. In that you're making the price a lot more attractive, you're increasing liquidity. So I think if they should go ahead with the stock split, because I think they're meeting July 12th to discuss to make a decision.
So the AGM is July 12th, 2:30
July
p.m.
12th.
and the point that Adriel is speaking about is they have a
A
few things
proposal
in
to
there. The proposal to do a stock split, yeah,
stock split, 10-1
10 to
stock split.
1, correct. 10 to
Yeah,
1 stock
and
split. Go ahead, Danhai, sorry.
yeah, 10-1 stock split. Split date July 27th, I think.
Yeah, correct. 27th of July. And so you're thinking that it should send the share price up, even though we know that stock split don't actually
Do nothing for the company.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Massey was
yeah,
a failure.
well,
I
Massey
like thing
did the
that
stock split.
Massey was a
they
failure, that's what you say?
I don't want to
Janu
say
star.
failure.
That's
I hope
funny.
no one is on and I'm not stepping on any toes. But
You know,
yeah, Massey did the stock split. And
say it in nice thing. Massey's a unicorn. Somehow the stock split never drive the price up.
yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though?
I think there are factors outside of the norm that contributed to that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Definitely. There's a
Uh,
reason for everything.
you know, funny enough though, so me personally, I didn't expect Massey to have any great movement because it split down to $100, right? It split from 500 to 2,000. Oh, I've forgotten what it was. A 20 to 1 split, whatever. It split down to the $100 level. And psychologically, we know how the local market, especially the retail market, feels about triple digit stocks. Right? They're going to look at it as expensive, even though it some would say, myself included, that it is undervalued where it is now. It's at $92 per share. It's undervalued. But then I think about the other factors, possible factors, again, don't know. But I think possible factors about like how the Trinidadian market views stock splits, how they view lower price stocks and nominal value, how they view the Jamaican market, I suspect, and Jamaican investors. And I also think that Barita, who was the broker involved in this, on the local end at least, I think that Barito is smart to do this because to us it might look like it didn't fly, but to me it looks like it didn't fall. And that is a very important thing if you're looking from the perspective of like GHL, which was poorly priced, poorly done. I can see it very clearly. I think GHL was poorly done in terms of pricing. And it split itself the hard way. It split down to GHL split down to $500, but it didn't really split. The price was dropped to $500. Also extremely undervalued, but
Who's going to care?
yeah, you're dealing with a couple thousand people. If you care about those thousand people look on a $500 stock price as 5 bills for one stock, but can buy 500 units in $1 with that. Well, at IPO. That's how they think, right? And like GHL should easily be worth $1,500 per share, and it would still be undervalued at $1,500 per share. But splits, but I'm talking again from Monday morning quarterback, and I'm moving away from your point. Sorry, Adrian, I'm moving back away from your point about Fosrich. So you're saying that you're expecting that this split should cause the share price to fly.
Definitely. And I'm thinking that they're leaning towards it as well. Because I was seeing that a director, I think it was on June 17th, which should have been last week, Friday, where it says like a couple million worth of shares. And I mean,
Not
You think you
sell,
buy for the
bought.
split?
yeah, that seems like him know something. I mean, he could be making a play for the anticipation of the stock split, but I feel like he knows something.
A director
They definitely know things.
yeah,
They know more than us.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of it might know. I mean, it definitely know exactly what's going to happen. We're guessing, we don't have inside information.
Yeah,
But this director,
speculating, not
yeah,
know anything.
this director does know exactly what's about to happen. And on the 17th of June, about 2.2 million units, right? Here's the thing though, Adriel. Well, all right, when did you buy in to Fosterich?
Um, Let me see. I bought in. It would have been the following Wednesday. I
After the
bought in
director?
multiple times after the direct.
So you bought after the 17th of June. So is what day you buying?
Yeah, what day?
Here's the problem
Late to
now
the
though.
party.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Adriel.
Yeah, I was saying I kind of late to the party, yes, but you know,
It depends. It depends. What's your goal percentage? What's your goal for your money?
um, I'm looking at least 30%.
30% gain is what you want. And you bought in what you want. So what your average price is?
Yeah, sure I can say that. Let me look. I use my money J, by the way.
Yeah, easily one of the best sites. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So my average price is 32, 32, 62, 67.
32.67. Damn. And you're looking for 30% gain on top of 32.67.
You
So you
got
need
it.
you need go ahead.
I know it kind of sticky at this point in time.
Never
I'm
said
not
that. You
sure
never
how
said that,
much
you know. You
more
never said that,
growth.
you know.
Well,
You
No,
didn't
what's
say
it?
sticky, boss.
well, I'm saying it might be a bit sticky because I'm not sure how much higher the price can be pushed.
Price can go all the way
It
up to
might.
there's no upper limit on the share price,
And I'm not putting any doubt in it, because that's why I still in the trade because I still believe. But I'm hoping for at least 30.
Right.
I'd be okay with it.
You're hoping for at least 30. And I can all right, I can see that, I can respect that. And 30%
30% is what price?
well, if I'm taking out, let's say 2% fees, after 2% fees, it means I have to sell for like 43.30, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not bringing fees into the conversation, 42, 47, 40, $42 and 48 cents.
Mm-hmm.
The thing though, Adriel, I like that you point out that you are late in a way. I don't know. I didn't ask you your goal time, like when you want to make your 30% on top of your money.
So when or I mean, not what you had stated,
The sweet day, yeah,
making
sweet
it
day, July 27.
July 27. So around that time, yeah.
Mm.
So this is just a quick split play you're trying.
Yeah, I'm trying a quick speak. Well, based
Why?
so basically, I should I saying after the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why does that
You
make
said make more
sense?
sense. Why?
so it would make it the price more attractive. So I'm assuming people who wanted the stock but just didn't want it for $31, $32 would buy in at that point in time. Um, and that could create some upward movement, which would also create upward movement in me who is already in the stock.
Mm.
So that would increase my percentage. I mean,
I
I'm not
want to
going
say
to
yes and I
start
want to say
by
no
comparing.
because
Understand what I
yeah,
say.
man, I understand it's perfectly fine. In fact, I understand more than if you use a fancy term. Then
Yeah,
the thing
yeah.
there, the what I looking at is I think I see that on two ways though. So you're saying if somebody were to buy in, they'll be buying in afterwards because they want shares, but the price now is too high for them, right? If the price is truly too high for them, then what you're saying is one share at 35 or one share at 40 odd is too much for this person. So they would have to say it's too much money for this person. So they'll be looking at buying, say, less than 10 shares at $4 each. I don't think most of the people in the market are too broke to say $30 is too much. A $40 spend is too much for them. You get me?
Yeah. I think anybody who will buy it at 30 would buy it at 40. Agreed.
So I think if the person is going to wait until the split to get the amount that you say getting, then they would have to be the thought would be they're buying it 9 or less.
Yeah.
But I think the benefit of the split is varies. All right, cool. The lower denomination, so it's the $4, whatever. So it's psychologically when movements happen, when things happen that will cause movements in the stock, then people are more behind it because they'll more understand a move from $4 to $5. They'll more look for a move from $4 to $5 than 40 to 50. It does seem like a steeper journey, even with the same percentage move. Get me?
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. And even those things there, the amount of denomination between it, you have what? How much cents between 40 and 50? That's 10 cents. $10 whatever, it's 1,000 cents. But between 5 and 4, that's 100 cents. So even at that level, then that's to me where it makes more sense. So the things that would cause you to buy into it, you get more of a fanfare at $4 than at $40.
Easy.
I don't know that people are broke to the point where I only have $40 in this market. I only have $36 in this market, and Fastest is too expensive at 40. So I have to wait till it split so I can buy 9 shares at $4 each. I don't know that's the majority of the people. So yeah, I don't think I get much of a movement on that. Let me just give you this way. An interesting point for me on the split, especially with the movement of the date, is that it's closer to earnings season. The last that drop and I was like, whoa. And you can see where the market really, really like those results.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the market were talking about it and that kind of thing.
Move from 38.4 million in profit in 2021 Q1 to 158.9 million profit.
Yeah. So we're on a different level of profit now.
Yeah, man.
We're on a different level of profit now. So
almost equal to the full year's profit in just one quarter. Yeah.
So an interesting thing to me now is that splits usually get a lot of interest, usually get a good movement on the stock price. Good results, great results like that, usually get good things behind it. And especially going into earnings season now, coming to the last earnings season are really good profits. Now I will split, and then a couple of days later, I'm expecting good profits on top of that. Then maybe the market might get behind that because that's two great things happening together at the same time. That's, I think, the movement from the earlier date to that date is a great thing there for people looking on at the stock and expecting good things and just looking at different events that they will get behind to push to buy the stock higher.
Was it Jamties who had a stock split close to their financial report?
Yeah, but don't
conflate
the two things. Yeah, don't conflate the two things.
Okay.
Yeah, meaning, Fast specific because this in Fast specific case, the specific things there are very specific there. I can't remember what Jamties was. How was Jamties report at that time? I can't remember exactly. But
probably knowing them good too, because I mean you did that sort of
probably
thing to
good,
sweeten the pot. Yeah, but
at the same time,
yeah.
Which is exactly what you know with Fast. But I'm looking at it, that thing, the timing of it, and then we also have a capital raise plan that we're not so sure if it's an APR rights issue, but it sounds like we might get two of them kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you know how the market really loves rights issues. So imagine a split rights issue and good results one time. Ooh. And then whatever they're doing, they haven't really told what they're doing with the raise money. Suppose them buying something big, or they have this big new project plan. Good amount of things could happen there.
they're not raising enough money for a big project, are they?
Mm. They haven't told us how much they're raising, have they?
That's
But
true.
then,
They have not. They have not.
yeah, that whole how much money they're raising is also very interesting to me. They told us how much money, how much shares they're issuing in the raise. They haven't told us how much money they're taking there. But I split around that time. And next thing too, I mentioned earlier, they moved from 40 to 40, from 40 to 50, 4 to 5. Great results. Great results on a $40 stock versus the same kind of great results on a $4 stock. That kind of thing look better as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see a lot of great lines they could follow there and say, boy, maybe get a good movement out of it.
I think I was looking at it from a different perspective.
How are you
Probably.
thinking of it?
And definitely.
Yeah.
This makes
How are
more
you
sense
thinking of
to
it?
me. Yeah, that's just like what I was saying in that the stocks that will make the price more attractive than people. But I guess that not
I mean,
really
yeah,
make
that's kind of what I said there. So yeah, I agree. Stock split
sense.
generally makes the price more attractive because always a lower price and more people are willing to get behind it because like it just same idea. GHL at 500, Massey at 100.
Mm-hmm.
It just look better. It just look people will be way more willing to think that just on the idea big price versus small price kind of thing.
Yeah. Like if GHL were to split tomorrow to do 100 to 1 split down to $5, the share price would probably fly all the way up to 50.
Yep,
Probably in a year, up to 50. Assuming,
50.
yeah, I mean, assuming good results continue.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, assuming good
Think
results
that.
continue,
Mhm,
or something fancy, or maybe not 50. Let's say it goes to 25.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
sure. Yeah,
yeah, I think he could
you're
easily go
right.
to 25 if they did a 100 to 1 split, um,
Mm-hmm.
very easily. And if you're
Just on that
smart,
change too.
yeah, if you're smart to
Just on
use your
that change, you're right.
yeah, if you're smart to use your pensions along those lines. So I should ask you though, Adrian,
And
have you
buy
done
it up.
grow?
No, I haven't done good as yet.
I can tell based on the way that you approach a stock split thing, because you have sense with that stock split approach, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you just do the first part and stop.
Yeah, usually.
You
No,
know,
whatever.
me
Go
too
full way.
sometimes.
Your money can't go halfway with it. You can't halfway on your money. So
Yeah, man.
if you do the thing that with him again, John Jackson, he said him again. I've been taking. We've always taken that side, this specific side with the thing that oh, Star Smith don't do anything for the company. Yeah, but it doesn't for the shareholders of the company, and that is enough. You get me? Like the shareholders of the company care about the shareholder of the company where the price move, not the company.
Exactly.
So my post Star Smith don't do anything. That's fine. The company is affected by the topic. That's fine. It's not speaking for the company. It's speaking for me as a shareholder of the company. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shareholder of the company like it, then that's good enough for anything they do. That's why the company make profits because shareholder of the company want the profits.
Yeah. A lot of people confuse the share price with the company. The
Mm-hmm.
company is not its share price.
Exactly.
Yeah. The
Exactly
share
that.
price. The share price is the investor's sentiment about
Mm-hmm.
the company.
You think the company get up and say, "Oh, you should be paying more for me"? No,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
company, the company, us trading the company, us buying and selling the company has no bearing on the company outside of who control it.
Exactly. Most companies on the JSE, I still maintain, do not know or care about their share price. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's just this young newer crop, right? I highlight Swaby of Eddie Focal all the time because Swaby cares about his share price. He pays attention
Mm-hmm.
to it, not overly much, but he's aware and cognizant of the fact that there are a few thousand or a few hundred people. I think a few hundred people who over 1,000 people who care also about his share price. And yes, his share
Mm-hmm.
price might be influenced in some way by the people buying it based on the company results. And of course, dividends come from the company results. and he wants to think about the longevity of his company as he should, and he does, but he also pays keen attention to the share price because he understands
Yeah,
that
because
matters to people. But
people bought
for,
in. People
yeah,
have people put their money in this thing. People say, I believe in this and I want to get something out of this. So I have to do my part to get that. So I on my side, when I go to work, it's like me as a regular employee walking into any office. I pass it come to bonus share price. And how I help the company either make money or save money. At the end of the day, might well translate to what people are willing to buy it for. And then whoever was in there before, whoever bought into the company, whoever put the money out of them pockets, said they believe in the company and buy into the company, are getting something from that. So, end of the day, yeah, companies should care about their share price. That's how I see it.
yeah. So Adriel, tell me something though. A question I have: why did it take so long? If you're buying this with the split as an important part of what you expect to cause you to get a profit, why did it take so long to buy it?
To be honest, I got the news late in terms of I discovered it late, but I just figured that there's still some measure of time.
I mean,
Mm.
I
I
mean,
mean,
the company is listed and will remain listed for years. It has at least 10 more years of listing that it has to be. It has to remain listed for at least 10 more years. Um, so you have time. It's just, I ask why. And so where are you getting your news really? Where do you get your news from? Why do you get it late? Because this thing, the notice came
well,
out like April.
Mhm.
that is true. Yeah, I didn't get in terms of the news was not published late, but I stumbled upon it late. I
Yeah,
get my
man.
news from the news feed. So it is in the news. The news is there. Everything is there just to definitely read.
That's
Yeah.
just when you check
So
it.
it was, yeah, I get it from the news feed, and that is timely. I have a routine where I read it every morning on my way, like when I reach to work. I read the news feed while I'm having
Okay.
coffee or
Okay.
whatever.
You use the Every Mickle news feed?
Yes, definitely. Big up the Every Mickle news feed.
Yeah, man. The Every Mickle news feed is a great free way for anybody to pay attention to the market, and just stay abreast of anything that you want to catch up on. A few, almost 2,000 people. Almost 2,000 people use that news feed. It's. I am happy that people have been finding it useful,
Yeah,
and it
man,
is.
it's great. Great. It brings the news to you.
Yeah, and
That makes
and
it
in
a
a
lot
place
easier.
where in a place where most people already do it, right? So like for me, it's in my cell phone. I mean, I'm showing it on screen now, and it looks like it's in the browser, and you can see it in your browser too, but it's in your cell phone. You can pay attention to everything. So if you care about a company, you just put around that company, or you look at it in Telegram on your phone. It's a very, very, very good feature. And of course, mymoneyja.com, you can also just hit the news. You can hit mymoneyja.com and same thing. Fast rich. So here's why I asked about why you got in at the time you got in though, Adriel, is because you got in expecting the split play, but the news around it happened all the way from April 19th actually, is when the news came out about it. 19th or 20th? 20th is when the news came out about it. Um, and if you measure till now, the stock has risen what 37%? Yeah, 37.5% if you're counting from today's price. And it was higher than it is today in the past, right? If you look at where it was on the 21st of June at 34.60, that it was even higher then. So it was 48.8%, almost 50% profit from when it was announced. So why did you look on that and think, or did you look back at that and realize that, okay, if I'm expecting the news of the stock split to cause the share price to rise, the share price has kind of risen already. The
I
rise
think
I'm
that
expecting
is,
has happened.
and it continues to rise.
Well, you hope it continues to rise. I'm not saying that it doesn't or won't, by the way, but I'm saying you're hoping that it continues to rise. Suppose this is the rise that was
Or there's
there's
more,
more to come.
there's more to come.
All right, all
But
right,
we see, okay.
all right. Tell me this: what would make you sell it? What would make you sell your phosphate shares now?
Um, let me think. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not ignoring. I'm thinking.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. It's good that you take your time to think it through. Also,
So,
no,
so, so
go
yeah,
ahead.
so basically, what was laid out in that the stock split,
Mm-hmm.
the proposed stock split date is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to happen around the near the financial report. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at how the market, well, the stock has, well, retailers have reacted to news of good reports in the past, and it shoots up. So in the event that a financial report, the financial report is published, is a good one,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no market movement, and the stock starts to fall, then I would let go
Oh, okay.
because the time period in which I wanted the stock to do what it did isn't doing what it's doing.
Okay. And what's that time period, by
So
the
I
way? That's the
mean,
last thing I was going to ask you.
so next during 1 month, 3 weeks, August, what's that? August 14th.
It is due. Yeah, it's due. Yeah, pretty soon. August 14th. 1 month and 3 weeks is when the report is due. Correct.
Yeah. So I will hold up until that point. So I've changed because I said earlier that I had a shorter time frame, but based upon new information,
Mm-hmm.
I have changed the time frame that I have for holding this stuff. And basically, if it isn't doing what I thought it would do, I'd have to let it go because then it would just be guesswork.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I like the thinking. I can't stress it enough. I want you to
Take
come
care of
grow. Yeah, man. I want you to come grow because you have all of the early start, I think, of just sensible thinking around the stock. You're doing a hard
Mm-hmm.
play, by the way. Let me show you. Month and a half play, and then initially it was shorter. The
And
shorter
then
the
that ever
time,
return.
yeah, that's a difficult thing. That's not an easy thing. But I respect how at least how you approach it, and I like that you have in mind that you say if you don't achieve it in that time, you're selling.
Which is right.
That never be afraid to sell.
Mm-hmm. Set a
Yeah,
date, set a price.
yeah,
And I need X by X.
never be afraid to sell. So I respect that very very much, Adriel. Thank you for shouting us, telling us about this. I hope I hope your play works out. If you come grow, if you change your mind at the last minute and decide say, you know what, might try to grow tomorrow. When is it? In fact, if I don't know if you have time, when you're doing your row farms thing,
So it would be next week, Saturday. For that.
next week Saturday. Okay, well tomorrow Saturday is grow. So if you get up on your feet, if after this you feel like let me do grow and see what this guy's talking about, if it makes some sense, um, you link me and as if I can give you a discount since you have the same last name and you're a farmer and I'm a
Yeah.
cousin, you get a family
Okay.
discount.
Yeah, man. Family
Yeah,
over everything.
yeah, man. A big up and thanks for coming on and asking that. And people go and check out the Row Farm, the selling. Just tell them
Yeah,
the
man.
information again.
So it would be the raw. You can follow us on Instagram, the raw
Mm-hmm.
farm.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I don't have a Twitter, so if you want updates, you could follow me on Twitter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and thank you very much, by the way, for the shout out.
No, now I feel I might just get everybody a nice discount for tomorrow's grow, which means you guys would have to put in the discount. You guys would have to sign up from tonight. But yeah, big up Row Farms. Check him out. Check out him thing and support what I'm doing. Happy to hear that somebody's doing that sort of stuff. And then when you start your farm,
Funny. I'm more looking. I'm more investing on and start that one.
me
Unless
too.
somebody, yeah, because at this point it's funny because we had a farm start conversation more than one, how much times now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's been a
Yep.
while since you had that.
But I would also the right. Yeah, maybe who knows? Link up because if you want to invest, because we're willing to invest. I don't know farming as you hear. I pay $600 for the Hana banana, so I'm the one with them. so if I go Coronation Market and me get chopped. But I do know business, and I think it's good that you're doing what you're doing, and I think your business can grow, especially the fact that you're farming, and them say eat what you grow. You're farming locally and selling it locally. I support that. So you or anybody else, link up or link Danhai because we're always willing to invest in the right business.
Indeed,
Yeah, yeah, especially these days, food security is a real thing to have to think about. All right, big up. Who we have next? Yannick. Yannick, what's up? Yannick Prince 10. Yannick was here last week.
Oh, sir. Night all.
Night,
Mistake.
night.
My finger thing.
That's what you said last week, though.
No, never that myself last week.
yeah, Nick, what's going on?
Good enough. I just want to big up Randy. The growth session was amazing. I tell you,
That.
I did a stock class before, which lasted 1 month worth of wasting my Saturdays.
Damn.
And you did that in two nights. So I could big up for that.
Damn.
Damn. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Oh yeah, you did. So the last time you're on, I said, yo, come to the grow, and you actually went. You did come on the split grow. People, I swear to you, I did not pay him to come and do this. As you can
So
hear,
you have to say that, right?
yeah. I also don't think I never gave you a discount, did I, Yannick?
No, you didn't.
There we go. So, wow. So it's a true feedback. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm always wondering how my class is coming across to people. So I am very, very glad that you enjoyed it and that you found it useful. You got some of the answers for your questions that you had last week?
Yeah, man, definitely.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
You have your work cut out for you, no matter how you go about that,
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, as long as you know.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All right. Big up. And
You have a plan already?
good question.
So, yeah.
You have a plan already?
Yeah, man. I have a plan, but I think I need to analyze a few more companies before I fully execute because I have too much in the portfolio now, so I need to narrow down and just keep it down to one or two.
That goes on like a 1 or 2. It's on like a very strong 1, and sometimes we can do a 2. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So respect.
Yeah, man, do it, boss.
Big up. Glad to hear that, but I hope you get there. 250, boy. Then
Strong,
yeah, man. Ambition. I love the ambition that people bring into the market, and I grow up make it clear. I don't tell people that they can't do that. It is doable. But yeah, just understand that it's not overnight. It's not a quick thing. Yeah.
In fact, when clients come to me that goal, I say, all right, here. I want you to realize that I can't give you that. Not I can help you towards it, but a lot of it will come from you because if it's one thing you need to be to go like that, it's flexible. If mosquito bite upon the right in this company and say, boy, we can't this little thing change. You have to know say change it and you have to change fast because imagine you go in for that and you go down you end up down 10%. How much more you need to go now on top of that?
Yeah, just to get back to
Or
one, right?
or you take a whole quarter and you only make 10%.
Yeah.
You have 9 months now. And a lot of way to go. Yeah, man. So it take a lot out there to learn. Make sure you learn a lot about the market and strong, very possible. I can't say it's impossible because I'd be a very big laugh, especially with what we've done on the market over these years. So
That's true.
yeah.
In fact, that meshes so well with the path to profit point that we're talking about tonight because you know what I think funny enough, I think one of the biggest impediments on the path to profit when people are starting out and them give themselves retail investors they give themselves these huge goals, 200% in 6 months. And the 200% in 6 months is always, like, again, not to percent in a year is not an easy thing. It is simple, but it's not easy. Some of the biggest impediments I think on the road to doing it though, the two biggest impediments that come to mind is one, they pick a company and the three, they pick a company and they fall in love with their pick. They did it like it's a horse race. I'm a bet on the horse and nothing can change until the race done. Two, if they let's say they do some research, them come grow, them learn how to do them research and them do a little bit of the research and then pick a company based on the research that they've done around it. Then they buy that company not based on what the research shows, but just based on the fact that they did
do the research. Yeah, man. They forget how effort in the said because I do the research, the company I gonna do it for me. The company knows say the company revenue and profit isn't based on you getting up and saying, "Oh, cool, I read about this company." It's not based on your blood, sweat, and tears. Is that every the workers of the company, CEO, security guard, doorman, everybody there, so it's them blood, sweat, and tears you take it there, and you have to figure out if them blood, sweat, and tears can turn the profit for you. You doing the research and you spend sleepless night to find out about this company, whatever. That's not gonna make the company move. That's not going to make Tom, Dick, and Harry buy the company for X% higher. That you need to buy for. So one of the quickest things you learn too. Quickest. Do the research and then man, I eat this. I started the research and the company not gonna do it, next one. The company not gonna do it, next one. The company can maybe do it. We'll see how likely to do it, the things that will take it there and the milestones there. But kind of look at the next one because I'm not so sure that one. And I kind of have some things I need to tweak with this one. You can give me the X% by X and what I need. I'll find something probably more sure because this one to hit or miss. It very often leads to a long string of rejection of the companies that you're looking at and say it's writing off over and over because I need X% by X time and this one not gonna get it. Search you do, not translated into profit.
Yeah. The research is not a guarantee of profit. It's a guarantee of increase in knowledge.
Yep.
That's all, or increase in perspective. But it's not So don't think that because you research you think it must be good. And don't think because you research and it's good it can't change.
Imagine me telling Randy, a full time I bought SBL at 30. Randy go buy it at 200 because I was reading I read about it all weekend.
Yeah.
What about it? No, it's a reading.
Yeah.
No, that works so.
It's a very, very weird thing. All right, I'm gonna say a small prayer before I do this, and I hope I don't regret it. We have the next person up. Um,
What this going on? What this?
where the guy
Yeah,
pressing the button.
dude. Let's go.
Oh boy! All right, let's go.
But that can't the boss again, you know, because era can't him send the wrong.
About what? Well, we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Sir Pajama Billions? What's up? How
Sir,
you doing?
what's going on, boss? Everything good?
All go on, big boss. Big boss, them.
Not
Yeah, I know.
much.
How
How
you
are you?
stay?
Just there tuning, you know.
Cool, cool, cool. What's on your
Thinking
mind?
about taking a couple of them stock plays there.
Oh,
Do
that's
it.
wonderful. You should. You've done grow.
No, man. I'm just you know, I'm nothing about I'm doing my research and stuff and getting involved, you know.
All right. Well, I'd advise. I mean, I'm biased since it's my course, but I'd advise that you do grow, and I suspect that you'll learn how to make a whole heap of money on the stock market at least.
I'm not thinking about day trading it, you know. It's more of a IPO thing for me still.
We don't do day trading or any such thing over here. That's a TV term for what we do anyway. That's not what I teach at Grow.
Yeah.
I just teach investing and understanding of investing, especially towards the local market. So I think you might like it. I don't think you need any help when it comes to the shorter term side of things. You know.
Yeah, you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Mr. Forex.
When we see what going over the couple of months still, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yes, you start already? Or
No,
you just get tonight?
no, as in, I actually been a do for the last couple of months. I've been doing a lot of research and just I have a couple of plays I'm looking forward to making probably over the summer and stuff like that, you know. But is you know, I'm kind of like big money. You get me? So I really have to make sure I do the right thing. Then to make sure it is like what I get from the forex market, you know, because I see how the IPOs them been doing in terms of dollar go three something the other day. You get me? And that kind of wake me up to, and then I see how the others go too.
What kind of return you can make on the forex market in a year, percentage wise?
And I really honestly I don't look at percentage honestly in
First
terms
mistake
of
that you know.
no man, I don't really look at it because me is the type of person where I set my goals in terms of what I want to achieve with my money. And I'm make that. But really focusing on percentage is when I feel like is when like you're probably just starting. That is like the textbook type of thing. And me more aggressive with my money where when you start making certain type of money, it's more of the money I look on versus the percentage.
That's absolutely
For me,
correct. Okay, well for you,
hold on.
for you, okay.
For me at least, you know,
One of the same thing. If me
in terms
have
of percentage,
if me I make X amount of money, I need to make X amount of money upon it. No matter which way, if it's dollar or percentage, not the same thing.
yeah, is at the
It's gonna
same
work out
thing.
too.
At the same thing, I'm telling about some person would say, "Oh, if you're not focused on percentage, you're doing it wrong or whatever." But for me, like me, you know, sorry, more make 60 mil or more make 100 mil. I look on that. I not really look at that percentage basis. You get me? Cause I feel like personally that would restrict me.
Okay, so tell me
Why?
something. If you want to make
Sure.
100 mil, how much money would you start off with? If I want to make 100 mil in forex in 1 year, from now to the end of the year, end of this year, 2022, let's say that the year worked exactly how last year worked. How much money would I have to start with to end the year with 100 mil?
Honestly, it all depends because I do even the other day from a 5,000 account, I do 30 mil. And the week before, I told myself that I wanted to do 50 mil this month. So I'm do 30 mil in probably 7 days or a little bit more than 7 days. Withdrew it, made some purchases and stuff like that because I had a goal for myself. So in terms of saying, oh, I want to make 100 mil within the year, like I can do that. From the different things I'm investing that profit in. So that's why I say like I invest on a goal basis, meaning I have a goal to buy a property, I have a goal to buy this or that. You know, I do that and then I make sure so whatever I put in the money back in as a net is bringing back cash flow just the same. You get me?
No,
But
I
if I
don't
was,
get you.
the forex market kind of move differently. You get me? Let me not say it move differently. In terms of forex or any form of investing, it's all based on your overall experience in the market. So I basically, you get me? Because when my scale account from 5,000 to 200,000 to 300,000, it kind of helped me for it just made me feel good in myself. I know, so, all right, I need a bag of money to do this. But with the stock market now, I know, so, all right, I need decent size of cash for really make decent returns. You get me? But the type of returns I'm gonna see are coming from the IPOs. Kind of low risk and really look at it. You get me? Because Jamaica is a country where it's just buy. You get me?
No, that's not at all how it works.
Well, that's what I kind of observe it working from the other day.
So let
But
me warn
if you go, if
Over the
that's
couple
not how it works.
months.
if you big money, that
I'm going to IPO with 100 mil.
if you're going $1 with 100 mil, you'd I get. I'm tell you that again. I'm tell you how much units you'd I get. They get 2.6 mil.
2.6 mil JMD.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not really
But
the
when
side of me really with a.
you'd put in 100 mil and only get 2.6 outside, then you think
Yeah,
that
but
then you triple.
remember there's another side to it in terms of what if we can get in on some preferred shares.
Different thing that.
That's
They're
a different
different.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but that is so
But
that's the side I'm looking. That's the side I'm trying to look forward to.
oh, so
But then that's
you'd get in on preferred the thing the reserve shares on every single IPO.
No, whatever I
You'd have
can
to
get,
know everybody.
whatever I can get onto. But
Oh,
remember, people
gotcha.
know me.
I don't
Yeah,
know
so
if
that
they're
works in
giving
my
you.
favor too.
I don't know. I don't know if that would work in your favor. Maybe for some companies, but
Yeah.
for me, at least on this show, we want to talk about like a path that anybody can follow.
True.
Yeah.
That is it.
So how about, okay? So let's say you did that one time and it worked. What are you doing after that? You're just done with the
Next
local
time.
market?
No, I would not be done with the local market because personally, I would like to have some type of ownership in a couple of companies locally. You know, help build a couple of companies as well.
Buy some stocks on the JC.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to get into. Like, help build up a couple. Because I see a lot of good companies here. It's just that a lot of them don't have the funding or the guidance. You get me?
On the
So if
JC.
well, not just on the JC, but just you don't have to invest only on the JC. You can find a
Oh, I
small
mean,
man.
private company, I mean. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Invest in them company and help them grow. So I do that
Definitely.
with a few people. I put my cash in a couple of businesses and I help them grow. So if I can do that on a wider scale, you know, that would do a lot for the country just the same. You get me? So
Well,
it's not just the stock market. It's more of a investing in companies type of thing, which is why I'm looking heavily in Jamaica because I see a lot of opportunities here.
all right. Well, if you can find a bike man next week, Saturday, the guy that was on just before this, he wouldn't mind expanding in business to delivery. So that might be an easy win-win.
Yeah, it can work. It can work. It all depends though. You get me? But I'm always open to investing. I'm a risk taker, so I'm always open once the opportunity is right for me at least.
Which is right.
Yeah. But
Come
big up on yourself still and just keep on doing the thing. Cool?
all
Yeah,
right,
man. Much respect, boss.
Big up.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard it from the pajama man
Bigger than himself.
Yeah. Well, damn, the man same can make 100 mil light
Simple something.
one day.
Drake.
One day I'll get there.
Fox. You see me? It's on the grow.
Yeah, when I grow. Damn. Sorry. Well, if you can't, if you don't have the links to the 100 mil investing, or you just want to learn how to do it even outside of the IPO times, link up and enter the code late but great at www.everymickle.com/grow. Yeah, between now and tomorrow morning at maybe 9 o'clock. I won't even say 9 o'clock. You have to end it tonight before I go sleep, because I'm closing off after that. If you want to do growth, we're doing the full growth tomorrow morning at 10. You get a 5% discount if you put in the code late but great. I'm doing that for the people who waited to the last minute, so this is the last minute. With this course, what you get to learn about the market. I am not teaching Forex. So you get to learn about the market. You get to learn how to make profit on your own. You get to learn how to do the research. You get to learn how to make picks. You also get a discount to mymoneyja.com. You also get a discount to Danhai's advisory whenever it opens up. I also do give away a couple of early slots. So like the people who did grow this week, 2 of them got slots to Danhai this week, actually, because I bought them ahead of time. So big up those 2 people. And if you just want to go directly to Danhai, you have any slots left? I know you opened it up on Monday.
I never put it out. I never even add it because what's been going on with me.
Yeah, I understand.
Let me check, man. I know I've slots.
Well, let's not check it. Maybe I'll buy them all. So let's hold off. Let's hold off. But yeah, open or not, when it does open up, you do get a spot there if you're one of the 2 people who participate the most. And outside that, if you want to go directly to the nice dhalladvisory.com, like I say, you want to grow. If you buy the ticket tonight on everymickle.com/grow, GRWR, put in the code late but great, and you will get 5% off that price. So you get to move very, 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 very quickly. All right. I think we had somebody else who sent a speaker request, but it dropped off. If you have a question or anything around stock that you want to talk about, send a speaker request and we will talk about it. We will get into it. And if not, then I will talk about another point. There's a point I wanted to mention, then I'm forgetting it. Oh, it was the Trans Jamaica, the Highway 2000.
Trans Jamaica.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fee increase. Big jump. Look.
Yeah, big.
But more.
No, go ahead.
But more. We had earlier news on them from before with they're buying out their operating company, the company that does the operations for them. They want to take a stake in that. They want to buy that company out. It seems they're in talks right now for the buying out. Yeah. So Jamaica infrastructure operators being bought out by the company, by Trans Jamaica.
Yeah, 100% of it too, right?
Yep.
I expected.
So
as we
so they're gonna stop paying them people. They're gonna save the money.
Why do you think they did that?
Why?
Yeah, why? Well, I put together some dots, but again, I never got enough time to go and go deep into it as to why. But how would I say?
You think it's for the money?
No, I mean it's always for the money, right? This thing isn't for charity, so it's always for the money. But I tell you what, I'm walking. Let me be open with you and everybody else watching and listening now. I have not gone over all of this point privately yet to see if it's something that I want to talk about publicly, right? Yeah, so I can talk about the off the cuff ideas, but I don't know. I mean, we're 2 hours in. Nobody listens this far in, so it's fine. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So Trans Jamaica. First, let me look at how the cues look. If you read the prospectus,
actually trade don't they?
Yo, so the news came out about them buying out the GIO, right? And I wondered if it would trade up. Now, of course, I didn't think would it hit the breaker, because it takes so much money to hit the breaker.
Trans Jamaica breaker different.
Yeah, man. I mean, Monday morning for it to hit the breaker, you need $29.5 million to hit the first breaker, and you still don't even hit $2 yet. 198. is where you'd have carried it, right? If you want to know how I calculate that so quick, it's not a super math brain. I just looking at mymoneyja.com and it tells me in the live trade feature that premium users get access to. Anyway, if you look in the prospectus of Transjamaica, and I know everybody who invested in Transjamaica read the prospectus because we all do that, right? Everybody reads it, especially the experts who were talking about it. They all read the prospectus fully, completely. So I know that they know this already. But if you didn't read the prospectus and it's your first time, you might not be aware of the fact that there is something in the operating agreement between Transjamaica and, I'm gonna say, the government or whoever. There's an agreement that allows, first of all, you have to know what JIO does, and JIO essentially does the operations of Transjamaica, right? Like they siloed out that part of the business. So all of the people who work for Transjamaica are really working, except for I think 7 of them, really work for JIO.
JIO.
Yeah, and JIO gets a percentage of Transjamaica's revenue. So the collect can hand over for Transjamaica. No. Transjamaica buying JIO, there's something in that agreement, and I'm working from memory here. There's something in that agreement that allows them to pin how much they charge to inflation, and not just Jamaican inflation, US inflation. Both, I think. Just that alone, considering how inflation looks in both our countries. At this point, I think, again, I haven't gone through it yet, but the compensation that the operators get, it's 20% of the formula is indexed to US inflation and has a 1.5% floor. 80% is indexed to Jamaican inflation. And it is also varied by the US dollar to Jamaican dollar rate. No.
Me not pay the bill.
That's exactly
Me
it.
not pay the bill.
We not pay the bill. They give them a cartel and go, hey, we not pay the bill. What the option you have? We might buy the whole thing, I buy the whole thing. So I think they're looking at a possibility of, this bill is going to be so huge. The increase is going to be huge. And then the increase that Transjamaica would have to take in order to keep compensating JIO properly would probably be heavy. Also, I think there might be, again, grain of salt, I'm going off the dome with this. I think there's something like what 138 had, with you.
A guaranteed revenue agreement.
A guarantee, yeah. I think there's a revenue guarantee. So, and the increase that Transjamaica can ask for, I believe if they ask at a certain interval, the government can't really say no. So you're losing like 3% of your revenue of your tolls to JIO, and JIO can raise them levels higher. And of course, you can charge a whole lot more for tolls up to a certain point, because again, there's general limitations somewhere in the contract. But my back of the envelope view of it right now is that JIO has a chance to hit Transjamaica with a heavy bill. Like Danhai said, I'm not pay the bill, so let me just buy them, right? And then if you buy them, then you are the one charging you the bill, so you don't have to worry about that. And I suspect that there's a lot of that in it. Really and truly. It wipes out immediately that separation between the two companies, I think. It saves Transjamaica a whole heap of money, and I guess it also increases. I didn't check. I don't know if JIO. Increase profitability, very likely. I would think very likely it increases profitability, but I don't know for sure. And I think, does JIO own any Transjamaica shares?
I forgot to check that.
That would be very, very interesting, huh? NROC is who the lead shareholder in it is, and NROC is not JIO, right? But I don't know if JIO.
No.
Maybe I don't know.
JIO is the foreigner, them man.
Yeah, it was
Boy
like
or whatever.
Bui and another company.
The already.
Yeah, so I guess Bui completely exiting Bui and whatever the other company, because it's two of them. Um, so Trans Jamaica is going fully Jamaican. That's impressive to me. Trans Jamaica going fully Jamaican is impressive to me, because at the back end then there's nobody else. Like, we really own the road now. We kind of own the road now, but we're not really. But no, we really own the road after this. And linking this back to a point that Adriel was saying earlier when he was talking about Fostrich, when he was saying, the proposed stock split. Just like this, Trans Jamaica have a proposed buyout of their operating company, 100% of it. I mean, they're negotiating with they only do business with them. They're their single customer. I suspect that there's a proposed buyout in that. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. And then the next,
So me see it too.
the next,
How them a go buy it? How them a go buy it?
exactly. How are they gonna buy it? A company like this, how much money do you have to pay for it?
Oh no.
What do you think?
Oh no. Trans Jamaica just think they do. They don't have a bond situation coming up. They just got a rating change where they can approve for some more debt should be coming. But then I said oh no because of the words are the dreaded words. APO.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, you know what it might be? Going back to that, I'm looking at these profit numbers now. Trans Jamaica's first quarter came in and they were what? They were ahead of the Q1 for last year. Okay.
Yeah man, good man.
They're good. They're growing. There was no one-off in this?
I can't oh God, on my phone.
You can't check. Yeah. And I mean, we'll leave that for people to do their. I'll leave that to people to do their own homework with. But yeah, then I asked the right question, the natural question: how are they gonna pay for all of this? How are they, if they're buying a company whose revenue has been 3% of their own revenue for years? When, I mean, 3% of them revenue is a nice figure. In 2021, they made 52.8 billion. Do I have that right? No, 52.7 million. I feel like I'm reading that wrong. Oh wow, sorry, 52.7 million US dollars. 52.7 million US dollars. 52.8, I'll call it US dollars in terms of revenue. That's 1.5 million US revenue back at the envelope for JIO, at least last year, going at the 3% level. Or put another way, that's 247 million revenue for JIO. As long as JIO is managing its books well enough, if it's profitable, that might be a nice little company right there. Might be a nice company. Right there. Suppose they list it. Suppose they don't IPO for it. Suppose they list it.
You're a surprise.
Oh my God, 247 million revenue for a company. What kind of IPO numbers do you think you could do with that? Let's say what, five years worth of revenue, 1.2 billion is what you could value the company at, or even 10 years worth of revenue, not profit here. That's 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion.
So impossible, so impossible.
As a valuation,
Yeah, I can imagine they think them have all the operations, all the workers.
Yeah, and people cost is really usually the heaviest cost.
And then them don't have cash too.
Yeah. There's this dream. Here's a pipe dream idea of mine. If you value it at 10 times revenue and list 20% of it, that comes out to 494 million Jamaican at 156 to 1, which is right below the junior market. Right below the junior market figure. what are the chances you think that Trans Jamaica takes JIO, buys it through a group listed, unlisted entity so that they can still list it on the junior market and then list JIO on the junior market?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a nice dream, right?
That sounds like a dream. It's like one of those things that only Randy say, and then the host is there like, tell the boy stuff is nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's probably just gonna be an APO. They're probably just gonna do an APO. They're probably just gonna do an APO to buy it. I mean, it's NCB too, so
Exactly. Trans Jamaica is heavily house connected. I'm not seeing it happening.
yeah. I mean, there could be. It's NCB. They have skills there, you know. NCB. They have some skills there. They could do it. They could do it.
The pajama billionaire. Come on. Right?
Wait, who is that?
Sorry,
Hold on. What's going on?
Sorry, that's Yannick. I think Yannick accidentally unmuted his mic. I didn't realize he was still in as a speaker. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I say that for NCB, it could happen, but it's also very likely it might just be another APO that's about to happen. It could also be a rights issue.
Could be a rights issue.
If Trans Jamaica did a rights issue, you know.
Something could have gone, you know, maybe.
Maybe. There's just so much of it, right?
Yo, that's the next one. It's hard for moving, brother. Iron balloon that. And the funny thing is, the movement, it's not sad, but after the movement already happened recently, the price fly up, it's down back again, and then with the next big mover to come in and do it again.
Yeah, you pretty much need the pensions.
You're gonna spend the money again?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, NCB might, if they think that it allows them. Yeah,
let's see.
That heavy stake and that heavy, for them at their level, dividend, that's a nice cash payout for them in terms of dividends. Who knows? That's my pipe dream. But yeah, that's as much as I'll say on Trans Jamaica for now. Am I rushing to buy it from that? Nah, not me personally, but that could change. Would you rushing to buy it, Danhai? Or you already have it?
No, I don't touch it. You know?
Yeah.
I have not touched it. Again, very hard to move. I have to believe that everybody else in the market I get up and say, yeah man, let's run behind Trans Jamaica too. The last move, I was saying when I saw it start, I said, you can go some more, and I said maybe I run behind it. A couple clients run behind it, and they made some good money there. But do it again. I see the race run one time. Hey, and it looked hard. It was like a hard one race. It go on and thing, and the race will start over again. I don't know if I believe it can happen. So it can happen very easily this time. So
boy, hard
to bet on a hard race.
Yeah. Well, if you have money in there from before, though, it might be.
It makes sense. Yeah. So that's the case for it. I see. Where I've been waiting for thing there. And I'm at the point now, I'm looking, you start tying up your goals and say, all right, I want to make X amount, whatever. Maybe Trans Jamaica is a vehicle. But is it the vehicle I choice if you have cash in the hand and you want to buy something? Not for me.
Well, if you have heavy money, right? Or if
you have heavy money, though, yo.
Yeah.
It can do a thing.
I remember a couple of months ago, we had somebody who joined Brick Talk and very randomly, I'm sure, said that in about 3 months, if this show is still around in 3 months, it's about 3 months ago too. If this show is still around in 3 months, you'll see if Trans Jamaica is good. To their credit,
I always find that weird.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes
you don't find that weird. Like I would never go on a show, and
there's actually nothing wrong with doing that on a show. The thing is, if you also say on a show that you're not good at predicting, but then you predict it down.
That's I wouldn't go on a show and do.
Down to the 3 month mark, boy. But to their credit.
And then suddenly some random news comes out that helps your point. That's crazy.
Yeah, a buyout.
It's almost like
an acquisition.
It's almost like a crystal ball that you somehow knew that this news would happen.
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball.
I wonder where they sell those.
Yeah, I'm not blessed with a crystal ball. I'm not blessed with a crystal ball, but I will say that if you have a lot of money, like if you had millions to invest,
Do it.
you'd be up 20% now. And Trans-Jamaica, you can push millions through it. There's not
Yep.
many. There are some stocks, but there are not that many stocks you can push all 10 million through and get it go
And-
up 20% and cash the 10 million out in like 2 or 3 days, still at least 20% up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep. Them volumes, boy.
yeah, more power to the people who can do that. I'm not there yet. My pocket's still small, certain ways. But yeah, let's see what the effect of this thing is now. If they do an APO, whew. Why would they do an APO? Think it through though. What would be the benefit of them doing an APO?
What is it?
What would be the benefit of them doing an APO?
To who?
Trans Jamaica. So if I'm thinking from the if I'm thinking as Trans Jamaica, what's the benefit of doing an APO versus a rights issue
Oh,
for Trans Jamaica? Well, really, I'm asking, I guess, who would want to come in? Who would they want to bring in? Because that's the only reason I can sit to do a APO. I have no clue either.
thing
Oh,
there.
well.
Well, no, you know. No, stop. I can't see for you, unless there's somebody that wants to operate it. So thing there. Somebody actually wants to operate it. So they say, all right, what we do? I come in at the top, since GEO is coming out, and those GEO is owned by X, but they operate it. So they have some level of quasi ownership. So them pull out, so I come in at the top now, and I'm the operator. And I will come in, I get run the money, I get say I'm the not necessarily a company, but they bring the direction in terms of this is where the company is going to be going. Maybe I'm taking a 20% of the company, and then I'm the guy that runs it. I want a big stake in it, then that makes sense. But then, and something about that don't feel right.
Why not? If you have that much money, why not just buy JIO?
No, you don't have the money. You have that money.
Okay, so you're coming in on a part of the APO money to buy JIO, but then what you're going to do? You don't own JIO after that. Then you own just a piece, a strong piece, but a piece of Trans Jamaica.
We're doing it because all right, cool, but who in Trans Jamaica wants this random somebody to come in just so you get me? And what does that random somebody bring to the table outside of us managing it? You could hire anybody, you could hire people anyway. Actually, you have a management team anyway, so you don't actually need that.
Yeah, I don't.
So as usual, you know, it's the usual, you know, it often never feels like there's a real reason for it versus the right issue. So,
Yeah.
but go to APO, my boss, go through.
Well, I can think of
if there is an APO before somebody come tell me, say, nobody said anything about APOs. Yes, exactly. We know that. We're speculating.
That's true. I could see NCB wanting to come in deeper because I think they're tied heavily. I think they're tied heavily with the debt.
Yeah, man.
So like you don't want anything to be screwed up. Let me come in here and take a more
bringing you your funds.
Yeah, and let me take a more active role, which we have seen them take a more active role in the company over the last few
Since listing.
Since listing.
Or you meant something different?
No man, it's after listing. Because they added the Patrick Hilton of NCB is now on Trans Jamaica's
on the board.
Yeah, and they weren't always there. He wasn't always there, was he?
Yeah. He was not.
Yeah. And another another director, Stephen Edwards and Dr. Bentley Brown are also on the board. There's something, and Stephen Gooden again of NCB Cap Markets head. Is there?
Actually, yes, I can say good. In fact, yeah.
Yeah, it's a year ago.
NCB taking a bigger stake make sense to me there.
Yeah, and NCB has a lot.
Thing there.
Yeah.
tie further to them, and it's also a deal for us. That's more than one deal, actually.
Yeah. And they're very tied in terms of the NCB group. You know, if you look at the top 10 ownership, they are number 1. They're also number 4. They're also number, what's that? 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, they have much more. They're getting close to 20% ownership in the thing, which is great for them dividend wise. But I don't think they can take the hit, and I suspect they also have some exposure with the debt.
Take the hit. No, 20%, but they can't take the hit. How much NCB actually own? And then at 20%, the hit is profit. The hit is share profit. No,
NCB,
it's movement of share price. And if I don't own it outright, now I report it. If funds own a good amount of it, then 20 control is different from 20 profit.
yeah,
20
sorry.
reporting.
Sorry, yeah. When I say take the hit, I'm not thinking about I don't think I care about the share price like that. They've gone through they've been going through the fire with it. I'm thinking about if JIO were to increase its rates and Transjamaica couldn't manage that.
Gotcha,
you know?
they calculate. No.
Yeah, and if there's any hit to increasing the rates of JIO and it makes your debt unstable and maybe even breach some of your debt covenants, that puts NCB on the back end in a lot of trouble. NCB already, they reported their last set of reports, a lot of the financial houses, nice profits, but comprehensive income don't look good because the fund them getting hit, some paper getting hit, right? So this might actually be a protective move.
And the loan, that's straight ECLs. That's not even comprehensive income.
Yeah,
that's up top.
Yeah, ECL hitting your top line and suppose it really does. I mean, if you breach a covenant, I don't know the full ECL terms for the thing, but if you breach a covenant, that I can see that being a cause for putting it in the ECL figure. You don't want that. So I see like they have exposure, not just through share price, right? And so if you have the exposure, let's counter that exposure by going with some direct exposure with the APO, which allows you to maybe, handle some of your debt, retire some of your debt. So which eases up the pressure on us as NCB, the group. And then also allows you to buy this asset, which eases up the pressure on you in terms of what they're allowed to do, because inflation is looking wicked and it's only looking to get worse, both in America and Jamaica. 80% in Jamaica. Inflation in Jamaica wicked now.
Like shit, wicked like bad man.
Yeah. Jaja. Anyway, that was the finance nerd. Don't know what we're talking about moment from Big Talk. If anybody have anything they want to talk about, it's a great time to send a speaker request. And if nobody wants to send a speaker request, that's also cool. We'll talk to Danhai for a little bit longer and then we'll call time on. It's Danhai 6, so it might not even be that long. But if you have if you have anything you want to talk about, a stock or anything like that, send a speaker request and we'll talk it through and get some good points. So I just taking a chance to look at the actual YouTube comments since then. Hold on. The YouTube comments. Okay. Andrico Winter, who did not send a speaking. Okay, there we go. Andrico. I hope this is you, Andrico, as I call your name. No, it's just Swaby. Gordon, what's up?
Also good.
Gordon, what's up? You hearing us?
Yeah, man, greetings. I will go on.
Greetings.
Hold on, boss.
But then, just enjoying life, giving thanks.
When that direct deposit hits. Boy, walk on, sir. How things?
Not much.
How's your first?
Good, man.
How's your first? How's your first full quarter on the market? You list March 15th. So Yeah, it's now June 25th.
Good. I mean, I've gotten the swing of things. I've gotten used to life as the CEO of a publicly traded company, so I can't complain.
Drop some
And the
results.
markets have been good to us. We're grateful.
Mm.
The markets have been good to me personally, so I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And I continue, you know, buying shares in Edufocal and and growing the company on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, we're grateful.
Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Love that, love that, love that. So what's up with you outside of Edifocal? Because I know you actively invest. I was telling people earlier that Edifocal, and well, you are one of the CEOs that I know pay attention to your share price, but it's because I know that you also pay attention to the overall market because you do invest.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
investing in the JC for over 10 years.
yeah, and there's a different level of understanding of the market and business that comes from when you
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
invest on your own.
Yeah, man. So I was looking at my portfolio the other day. Edifocal excluded, I was up about 30%.
Yeah, fair.
So not bad because I mean, I'd say I spend maybe 2 hours a week at most investing. The rest of my time is dedicated to Edifocal. So I guess I'm doing okay. Yeah, I can't
Say,
complain.
say Randy,
Yeah.
they always say, only hear people discredit 30%, only 30%.
Well, if you put Edufocal in that portfolio, I think I'm at like
Enough.
160%. Yeah,
Much
man,
more than
I'm
160.
pretty,
All right, hold on. If you put
yeah,
any focal in the portfolio, it's only 160% up.
something like that. I haven't
Yo,
checked.
Dana, you do the maths on that
Yeah,
real quick. You see how heavy the rest of the man portfolio is?
You
yeah, man.
see it?
Jack,
And I
because any
mean,
focal is
I
up
believe, I believe in
180% right
going
now,
deep, not wide.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do try to not be all over the place. I have concentrated focus.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. And I mean, I have some decent realized gains. So I'm also happy for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you actually
yeah,
take
man.
gains. You actually cash out and take some gains,
Yeah, man. I take profit every now and again, like a
which
normal
is
human being.
which is
I'm not a
good, which
savage,
is
you know.
good, which is good, which is good. I respect that. I respect that. I respect
Yeah,
that.
man. Yeah,
Wow,
man.
wow, wow. So you say, what is it? Just 30%. 30% is a whole heap, baby.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I wish I had more time to, because I really love the market. I mean, I don't think people understand how much I love the equities market in Jamaica. Really, it's changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've given you your kudos before, Randy, but you're the one who
Mm-hmm.
got me into the market.
Yeah. Well, I never get tired
You're
of
the
hearing
one
it,
who,
So.
yeah, you're the one who told me in 2012 when I just started 84, like, yo, you can list this thing, and I said, what would that mean? Yeah,
That's
man,
true.
I was
That's true.
20. I was
That's
19
true.
or 20 at the time, so here I
No,
am today.
30 odd and over 30 odd percent profit, Jaja. And
Yeah, man.
soon close to the billion. I respect that. But what you gonna do with now that another question around you being on the market, because you say you only put 2 hours per, what you say, per week or per month?
Yeah, about per week. Yeah, man, that's about.
All
So
right.
like this hour the night now, in my bed, I'll probably just go through the market and make some plays. Yeah, when when market opens, I make the play, and then I just kind of keep my day going.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I'm definitely not tuning in hour by hour every day. I genuinely don't have the time
Mm-hmm.
between running the company, having a wife and a child, and other things that I do. I just don't have the time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
you,
big up. This is not a My Money JA plug, but big up My Money JA really allows me to stay on top of the market. And I'm grateful for that.
me too.
Yeah, hold on. Ordering Burger King.
This time of night.
Good night. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, man. So yeah, we give thanks. I jumped on though to ask you guys about a particular company.
What's that?
SOS. What you guys think about
Ah,
SOS?
Ooh. Wow,
Yeah,
we
man.
could end the night and talk about that, me.
Yeah, man.
But I thought we're gonna end the night and not talk about that. Wait till Swaby finish him ordering The drive-throughs are
No man,
excellent. Plus,
me don't order man. You can't. Well, I'm waiting on my food. But yeah, what you guys think about? What are your thoughts on SOS?
a nice company. What you think about SOS?
Yeah, exactly. You know how this goes in a Swebe.
Him know full well too, you know. Him walk up here that way.
I feel like there are a lot of opportunities for M&A on the market. I feel like sometimes synergies don't seem obvious. But it can happen. And I mean, if you look at even when you look at a tropical and what was it, CAC 2000. They have a JV, they have a joint venture.
Enervate.
There are a lot of ways that companies can have synergies, and I think that I think there's an opportunity for an SOS and possibly another listed company to have synergies. Yeah. So
Well, that sounds vague.
That sounds well vague.
no, man. No. It's not vague at all. I mean, in the sense that
which listed company do you think it has
because
synergies with?
again, you're saying you think there's opportunity for synergy for SOS and one of 98 other companies.
I mean, just using for example, I mean, I don't know, JFP. It could be a possibility for some form of synergy. They're in similar industries. One is very niche with their focus, and one is a little bit more general. Maybe it requires somebody bringing both of them to the table to kind of explore the possibilities. But I like
one
SOS.
makes the things and one sells them.
So that again, Danhai?
So one makes some things and one sells them.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And despite what is going on in the market generally in terms of just the economic outlook, there are always opportunities, right? There's always movement in money, and there's always movement in opportunities, and I think it's important that CEOs of some of these companies look at where synergies can happen.
Okay, so this is part of the 30%. Your SOS. You're invested in SOS.
No. Actually, I have zero holdings in SOS. But I like SOS. I just don't have. I've not put any money in SOS.
But I think I have some,
Yeah,
You think you have some, Danhai?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I have some. Yeah,
I should check to see if I have some. If I do, it's not any great amount. It's a reminder amount. What I would say is that just looking at their turnaround post-COVID, I think that's an impressive turnaround in terms of the numbers. They weathered COVID well. And you mentioned M&A activity. For the people who don't know, that mergers and acquisitions, they have acquired a book manufacturer, Seek, and they did that right before COVID. And
just buy something else. They just bought some more further thing there. Equipment.
Yeah, the assets of D&K's printing and office supplies.
Sorry, Randy, what does Seek do? I'm not familiar with them.
Seek does books. They do paper books.
Hold on. Give me a second.
No problem.
So
boy, for him
again, God, me did not online learning thing too, huh?
Yeah, no man. From before me that man.
I'm kidding, man. I know what Seek is, man.
I know, man, boss. I know. I'm joking.
I don't know. I don't know that him know. He's not a fan of paper.
Seek is the one that had the little hummingbird on the front of the thing with the films.
No man, they have no books.
Flimsy,
they make books, but I don't know if it's Seek like that.
Yeah. They might make the police book, the big police book. They make that.
Yeah. That's them. Yeah man. Well, I mean, they supply schools.
Everybody know the Seek kind of books.
Supply schools.
Because that's how I know. That's how I know Seek through their distribution in schools actually.
Okay. Okay. So like anybody looking on YouTube, this is what a Seek book looks like. So if you know this book, you probably had it in high school. Now they bought Seek, and Seek wasn't doing that great when they bought it. That's usually how it goes when companies get bought. They're not necessarily doing that great sometimes.
Yeah.
And I remember we actually had a earnings season episode, Danhai, where we were talking about Seek and the possibilities with SOS. Pandemic hit them, and we mentioned that in time that they'd be able to recover, not necessarily immediately. And I'm not talking the pandemic here, talking about Seek. I think the time has come where they're finally integrated Seek fully into their operations well enough, and
Yeah.
them looking for and buying an actual book manufacturing, a second company, the assets of it, and they point out that it's 10 additional book manufacturing machines.
Yeah.
And it's
And Randy,
specifically for Seek. Yeah.
one of the interesting things about SOS too is that they have new leadership. I mean, I believe the son has taken over from the father. I don't know him. I don't know the son or the father personally. But I think change of leadership is always an interesting thing, and leadership does make a difference, and who is leading is making a difference. That's not to say that the dad was not doing well. But the son will want to come in and
Make
create,
his mark.
make his mark, right? So
Yeah.
so I think SOS is one of those companies to watch. I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. And again, you never know. Sometimes the best plays are the ones that are not obvious. So
But I say John
and that's
Jackson been talking about it.
applicable to all things.
I say John Jackson been talking about it though, and
Talking about what?
See, SOS, and
Really?
man,
wow.
quite a while now, and
Yeah.
he's also
That's
toying
true.
with the possibility of a thing there for stock split based on where the liquidity is.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Did
if
not
you
know
check
that.
the cues for it, it looks like the kind of thing that can go up and not have not have much volumes on either side. Say,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
pull up and stay up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Gordon said, the David McDaniel, who was the original chairman of the board for 20 years, stepped down, and his son Alan McDaniel stepped up to with the new chairman, and that was last year June. So now we're at the 1 year mark, and we have seen improved business coming out of COVID from them. Again, another company where in the first quarter of the year they've made profit almost equal to all of last year's profit.
Yeah.
Some would say fairly valued. A PE of 19.8 times at $12.40. Some would say it's fairly valued where it is. So it has risen in price heavily since the start of the year. Yeah.
I always find that interesting. I think it's a lot of the same where we say, oh, the PE is this today, so party done.
Yeah.
But then if you check just check the numbers for the full year last year and see what's going on, you might be surprised.
Yeah. 94% increase in the share price from the start of January till where we are now. So they have almost doubled in shares. If you did,
Yes, sir.
I know you've mentioned this before, so if you did buy it by then, you'd have a nice little bit of profit looking at. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so sometimes you sleep on opportunities, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's never too late.
That's correct.
Indeed.
It's never too late.
That's correct. The market still has more to come.
Man.
I like this one as one that you've mentioned.
Absolutely.
It'll be very, very interesting. So, later in the year, if we mention in SOS again, I forgot to say that one that Gordon brought to our attention. Gordon, I hope by then, if it flies in value, I hope that you...
if it fly, I have some.
Yeah, man. I hope you have some by then, man. I don't want it flying and get none.
But
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think this is Seek's most famous production, this police book, as Danhai call it. The big police book. Jamaican manufacturer too, right? It's made in Jamaica, so that's good. So that's a nice manufacturing company on the JSE. Is it part of the JSE's M&D? JSE's manufacturing index?
can't remember. Can't check.
Yeah,
But
that's
check that index.
yeah. If it's not, that's also another dot, right? That could be another dot because they're very much a manufacturer.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're ramping up their manufacturing now, and I believe they spoke also about exports as part of their business line. And if
In fact, they, if you remember, coming out of COVID, the first big success they had was on the back of exports to St. Lucia.
Yep.
And they're tied to the, what do you call it now again? The BPO market, which is growing. Yeah, and yeah, I think they have one of the big players as a strong client there. So that market is growing. The big players also growing and spreading. So I would say that you should see more there. It's an interesting part to me though. One of the big players, I think their title has plans to go to Central America, and then they look at the thing there. The, what do you call it now? That same export line. Maybe that's where that goes. And Central America is a big market, so
massive market. A massive market. I'd be surprised if they could compete there, but if they have the right in, they could compete there.
Exactly that. Yeah. That's my wonder. Yeah.
That
interesting lines for that.
Yeah.
Very. And they also have, I think they have some they have some expansion. They have an expansion plan they mentioned. I think part of it has to do with acquisition. I can't remember exactly the line they were going on, but they do have expansion plans. I can't remember exactly the way they want to expand.
Well, to buy 10 additional book manufacturing machines, I don't think they buy them for no reason, right? For my girl guys, you know, you can't bet on the race after the race done. You have to bet before the race run. So,
Sorry, Randy.
Yes, Survey. What's up?
Speaking of one and an index, if there was another company listing similar to the Edifocal, would there be a EdTech index?
As JC has only so far made 2 indices.
No, man, they make more indices than that, man. They have more indices than that. I mean, in recent memory.
They have more indices that they track?
Yeah.
Outside, I think I mean the industry indices.
Oh no.
Yeah, man.
No, it's just finance, manufacturing. I mean, conglomerates, retail, tourism. I don't know if they track it as an actual official index, no. But I mean, your portfolio can be an index, you know. So maybe
sure. Yes. So you say.
If something like Edifocal were to list Swaby, I would probably track it in my personal portfolio index.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That way I get the benefit from it if it works out well. So far, the Edifocal one has worked out pretty well, but one company and index does not make, right? Yeah, or can, you know?
I mean, it can,
yeah.
But then it can, but then you end up arguing with experts.
Yeah, and I'm not an expert at all.
Me worse.
Apparently I'm one. So I can't claim it. I claim it anymore.
Yeah, well,
I'm just a simple guy from Christian.
Country boy come to town. It seems to be working out for country people. These days, they've had a good
These
run.
days, boy, it's always been the case, you know.
Yeah.
Check the facts. It's always been the case.
Yes. Yeah. Town is a pyramid scheme. Uptown is a pyramid scheme. Town is a trick. so big up all the people from country. A big up Sweeney. Thanks that's a great topic that you've brought up. Until you hear Danhai and I start walk very carefully around a topic, you know. You don't say you touch a good one. Yeah, so
all right, my boss. Cool.
Big up,
night, guys.
Man. Yeah,
man. Bless up, Sweetie.
Cool.
All
right. I see the Louis V belt bricks man himself join us right
Which
now.
one?
Ready for cut. Which one? That's right. Philberg Invest. All go on, Philberg. All go on, Phil.
All go on.
Big up on yourself, fam. I was a little bit off the grid, so I missed the early brick talk. I just catch what Gordon said. Actually, it's funny that I actually came in to add to the SOS point, but I think you guys went through everything that I had to add.
When he mentioned SOS, and Randy said thing the name again, that a couple of months from now, so he be sick. I was there saying, no, Phil did say first. I remember Phil and SOS way back when.
Yep.
And some of the things you were seeing then are coming out now.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. Just a little time in the market. Time in the market, guys, is better than timing the market.
Watch somebody gonna ask you about that and say you say. Watch.
Oh my God! Every girl I make these jokes. Somebody
Boy,
come in
say,
and them ask me about it.
Yeah, that's one thing I miss the most.
What's that?
Being able to get trouble in peace.
Yeah.
Cause me love the foolishness, boy.
yeah, me too. Yeah, I miss it. I still try. I still kind of get trouble. I sneak it every now and then, but can't do it the same way, boy. No, but you said,
What land?
right? you said SSLVC was going to.
You
Oh
say
my
me?
God. Yeah. Oh God.
Who,
Wait.
me?
Well, yeah, Phil. So you never get to talk to us about SOS. What else you had in mind?
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know what you guys have gone through. A few months, many months ago, whenever I come on, I would talk a little bit about QWI.
Ah.
I think I switched now to iCreate though.
Word.
For obvious reasons.
You know, as you said that, let me reiterate. Let me reiterate something, because you were on, Phil, and I think after that we were joking and we mentioned bigging up you because you touched I create top 10, and I don't know where people got it from. I haven't listened to it back, but I remember what I said because I was so careful saying it. I mentioned the 10% ownership and how, I think the board, you get certain things for it. I was thinking board membership. And again, big up Stephen who showed me and pointed out that he pointed out that he couldn't find it in the company act, and I had to go search to see where I saw it. I still can't figure out where I saw it. I figure at best where I saw it is in some companies' articles. If you have no idea what I'm talking about here, then don't worry about it. But if you do know what I'm talking about, then you understand. So I suspect it's in some companies' articles, and I have seen it in the articles of some companies, some interesting companies too, where if you have 10% ownership, you can
After a board seat.
yeah, you can pull for a board seat. Now, 10% ownership does also have some amount of significance, and that's implied in many cases. I pointed out in my conversation with him privately that, like, Elite, which is another company I didn't want to mention on air, Elite has I noticed that when Stephen Gooden bought into Elite, they sold 10% ownership, meaning 10% ownership was sold by the original owners, the founders, but only 9.9 was bought by him, right? And I consider that might be linked to the fact that NCB is also an owner in it. And I think if NCB bought it and an NCB exec also bought 10%, maybe somebody could make the case, or the case could be made that, listen, that's no yeah, not a takeover, but that's a associate stake in it. So I think for the avoidance of doubt, he went to 9.9%, which is part of me showing anecdotally that 10% has some significance. But I'm saying all of this to say that being on the top 10 don't give you anything special other than being
Not
on
one
the top
thing.
10. Nothing special there, all right? I never said it before, but in case you thought I did, let me be very clear. It don't give you anything
Randy.
special.
Randy,
that's
I have
Swaby
another
again.
one.
You're breaking
Sorry, yeah, jump. You hearing me?
Yes, Swaby.
Big up Phil. Belt
Big up.
bricks, boss.
Big up Sir G.
Yeah, man. So I have another one, guys. T-Tech. I love T-Tech. I'm very bullish on T-Tech.
This guy
Well,
trying
so
to
you want a tech index, not a thing, not a tech index generally.
Ooh, no, that's
Yeah,
a
man.
nice idea. A tech index on the JSE.
Listen. The Data Protection Act
No, we
becomes
understand, Swaby. I don't want you to talk about that.
all right. Well, no,
Understand.
November. I'm a November man, and November 2023 is an important date. So that's all I'll say on that matter. But massive opportunities there, not just for Atite, but other listed companies.
You know what I might do next week? Well, maybe I'll make next week's brick talk next week's brick talk topic from now. We can make that one on dates, brick dates. I know we're not talking about father sin.
That's hilarious.
Big up father sin. Father sin come to grow and I come mash it up wickedly the other day though. Anyway, I think maybe we'll do one on brick dates. I will talk about some significant dates because I can think about some significant dates on the market. I think of July as a significant date. I can think of November, as Swaby is mentioning, as a significant date. I can think of the Rihanna date from John Jackson, summer, which which keeps moving.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming, yeah, or Halloween is coming in this case. Yeah,
Summertime.
yeah. I'm an October man myself, Swaby, so I care about October. So maybe next week we talk about the brick dates, and I think next week a lot of people might find that one very, 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 very interesting. Also, it'll be the first one for July, so we'd have wrapped half of the year at that point. So maybe we can look at some of the companies there. I really hope I remember that I said that I was gonna do this next week. But yeah, I don't want you to talk too much about that, Swaby, cause I would rather you not.
No problem.
All right, boss. Well, I mean, nobody can, so you can tweet whatever you want, and you've tweeted about it before, actually. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so maybe people can
Listen,
look at
Randy.
that.
I mean, Randy and Nana, there's so many opportunities out there. I mean, it's
It's almost overwhelming.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Trust me.
yeah.
It's crazy. I just I don't know what to do, man. I wish I had more money.
Me too.
That's my constant cry.
Yeah,
My
Yeah, man.
constant cry. I'm
yeah.
telling you.
Constantly, yeah. More money and more access to more money. It
Yeah.
is
My bank account, doesn't get any love because it's just always, the money is always going into the market.
yeah.
I'm all in, I'm all in. That's
Same,
why,
same.
so I can't give up on Jamaica, and I love my little country so much. So
Yeah. We found a little gold mine here, and the beauty of it is
yeah,
that
man.
for those of us who have been pushing it, it has worked out great, and it continues to work out great. And if you pay attention, it just seems like it's still early. It's crazy to me how
I,
it just starting.
I remember when you were the only one on Twitter talking about the JC, Randy.
Yeah. I remember the things that are popular now. When I used to say them as a thing, I think that could become popular. I was told like, no, that's bad, and you're a bad person for saying that. And now those people are doing those things and talking openly about it. I'm glad for the growth in the space, but let's not bring the war into this. We can do war week after next. This week though,
I agree.
I like that point, Swaby. You give the people one good gem, SOS, and Phil, who was
Very
interrupted.
good.
Phil, made the multimillionaire interrupt you. Go back to your point, Phil.
No, man, I'm looking forward to. I've made a brief mention about the I Create Rights issue, and they did mention what it is that they're doing a rights issue for an acquisition, and it just thinking about. I mean, we don't know the details of the acquisition and so forth, but it is a very I don't know if I've heard it really spoken about publicly that iCreate is approaching their 5-year mark. I mean, the way that iCreate has been seen over the years. I mean, we talk about how the market views certain companies and or views companies in general. But I don't think that I think iCreate went through a period where people looking at it as a joke, and they shouldn't have listed, they list too early, blah blah blah. But the fact is that they have listed and they are approaching their 5-year mark. I think it's gonna be not next year but the following year, early in the following year. And just like most other listed companies coming up to that 5-year mark, they would tend to do something because that something significant that
some
it may be
interesting
significant
things.
for something interesting for either the company or shareholders or both. And I think that iCreate is probably on the cusp of that. And the rights issue, they're gonna do an acquisition for the money. The fact that they've done a rights issue and they've made it clear that it's a rights issue is important. And I think, it's more than one to watch. It's one to be in.
Yeah, well, you're biased.
But we know, we know,
But I'm
Phil. We
very
know you are
biased.
in it.
Yeah, we know you're biased and you're in it, but I don't disagree with you. We had Tyrone here, a little after we had the legend Barry on, and that's a great juxtaposition, right? That's two ends of the market. Maybe the struggle. I'm sure Barry and Mayberry at some point went through some sort of struggle in the market, but where they are now, you would never know it, right? But unless you pay attention to what happened way back in the day, especially in the earlier bond days, the Barbados bond days, that sort of stuff. There's lots of stuff that happened way back in the past that they've grown from. You're right in that iCreate does hit their 5-year mark. They listed in 2019, so they hit their 5-year mark 2 years from now.
Right.
Phil, you're making me give away things I only talk about in the girl subscriber group. If you care, if you think about business and you understand that things don't happen overnight, the moves that a company can make now will come to fruition a year or two from now, 8 quarters from now, 2 years at the 5-year mark. At which point you're not about to pay half tax, but you have grown the company so well that the 12.5% tax that you're going to pay is smaller than the overall growth that you've hit the company. That would be the hope, and I hope iCreate gets there. I see Tyrone and team doing a whole heap of disparate things. Let me be very clear, because people can say I said that wrong again. DISPARATE, meaning different things.
Correct.
Different things. In order to grow the company, and I think the share price has responded to it. Let's see if the company results can respond to it. No, you're right. Also, Phil, the typical market investor, the typical investor in the market, the typical analyst, older analyst watching the market for a long time, rarely has anything good to say about iCreate. But for me, it's like if you always pay attention to the past, then you'll never see what's coming, right? If you think that something that's not that great can never be great, then you will never be able to catch it before it gets great. And if you need it to be if you need it to be great and then you get in, that's perfectly fine. Those of us who are able to see it ahead of time will gladly sell you those shares at an increased multiple.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think one thing that Tyrone mentioned, which is something that you guys would know I've been on, that I know publicly and privately how long I've been on this point. The market is getting more democratized, right? It's no longer just a small club of a circle that talk and them have their own little thing. 20,000 active investors in the market means whether or not you think something is good, 5,000 people might think it's good. And that's something that Tyrone mentioned. That's something that I'm glad to hear him as a CEO of a listed company mentioning it now, because
it's paying attention to.
Yeah, man, I was saying it years ago, and when I was saying it years ago, it never had the same traction, but that's how things go. It don't happen until it happens. We're at the point now where I think, as I said to him when he mentioned on it, the rights issue, I said, you don't need anybody big to get into the rights issue. The people, if your case is good enough, the people will give you. I also big them up because he pull off an APO quietly, and I respect that. They pull off an APO quietly, and that APO
it's an APO without the APO.
Exactly,
that's all I love about it. It's an APO without the APO.
And he's following it with a rights issue, which I think is the right way to do it if you care about your shareholders, you care about your share price. And yeah, I mean, we've been betting on Tyrone from early earning season days, and we're still betting on Tyrone now. Rooting for him. I don't know if I think I own maybe 20.
I own some shares. I can't sit on. I own shares.
I own like 20 iCreate shares, I think. Literally 20, I think. But I am always in the market for more. So Phil, if you're selling some, let me know. I might be open to buying some. Phil, you mentioned QWI. Since nobody else has sent a speaking request, and I want I don't want to keep us too long. Plus, Danhai is sick. I don't want to keep him up too
Yeah,
long.
man.
So I'm gonna wrap it quickly. But you mentioned QWI. You can talk about QWI because that's also something that I found very interesting, and I do own shares in QWI. I'll say that too. What were you thinking about QWI before? I thought you were going to say Jam T because that's what we know you as. You're Mr. Talk about Jam T.
This is true. This is true. And funnily enough, I'd gotten to the point of, I can't wait anymore with Jam Tea. So
Me
I
too.
got out. I got out of Jam Tea, but QWI is, I'm looking forward to their AGM, the AGM resolution, which I think the AGM is in July sometime,
QWI.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
particularly the resolution speaking to buybacks.
Oh,
Which we've been waiting at this point, what, 2.5 years for? Or a year? It feel
still
like
away.
yeah. How long have you been waiting on that now? Because that's not necessarily a new thing. That's not even close to new.
Nope.
No, it's not.
2 years now.
About 2 years, right? Is pre-pandemic?
Is it?
Still
Yeah.
don't know. I've been wondering. I think no.
No, I feel it came up after the pandemic.
No, I feel like it happened
Them
before the pandemic, and the
activation.
pandemic delayed it. I feel like there were delays and delays
Something like that.
brought
Yeah, I
it
remember
into the
they had
pandemic.
missed.
Yeah.
That is true, They had said something, and then the whole missing of
The
the
AGM
missing
date
of
and
AGMs was
yeah,
because of the pandemic.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Ah,
then
yes.
technically they passed it, didn't they? Technically they have passed it.
Yes.
Yeah. Technically they passed it, but I don't know why. I love John Jackson could talk. I see him have a little event now that he visited. I guess he'll be doing it right now at Stocks on the Rocks. So if I was there and not here, I would ask him some hard questions around that stuff. And I see in my girl subscriber groups that some interesting questions were asked and answered. I'll leave that one for the people in the group though. I was considering sharing it with the public, but the public will hear soon enough anyway. This stuff moves fast. So
Probably
yeah,
true.
yeah. I will say, however, that as somebody who owns QWI, which is how I started it, I am willing. I didn't say I'm willing. I have been more willing to sit and wait in QWI than I have been in Jamaica Teas. I got out of Jamaica Teas. We're at the $4 odd level, and I'm happy now because I see this thing dip come all the way down to 2 little bit the other day. By the way, big up anybody who's sharp enough to have bought at the $2 little bit level.
$2 something.
Oh,
Oh
Right.
yes.
God.
But you know the funny part about all of this, this whole dip, what I found more, it's a panic I found more than the thing, more than this will go back up. Everybody was I know I'm afraid my ball, whatever.
And
Your
then some,
And I
focus
know
going in different
hindsight is
direction.
a box. Some people know.
yeah.
Just on if we just still spend the money.
Yeah. Or if we never sell.
Mm-hmm. That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have said that the low just because
Yeah, I know somebody who sold some Dolphin Cove at 14 little bit. I know somebody, when it was at 14 little bit, I know somebody who sold Dolphin Cove below that, almost down to 12.
below.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Do
Oh
man.
that.
yeah. I remember it went to 12.
Yeah. Not that long ago either. In June.
Yeah.
You couldn't show me.
Yep.
In June. They'll sell it because it's done. It's not waiting. I've remind them and I'll remind everybody watching and listening now. The market does not move overnight immediately, and the market doesn't move consistently and constantly in just one direction only. The stock that go up 300% in a year, if you zoom in during that year, it have some time when it come down a little bit, right? CPJ, biggest growth stock in 2021. CPJ's biggest growth stock in 2021. Ended 2021 405% ahead of where it started the year. If you it look nice when you're looking at this wonderful chart where it fly all the way up. But if you zoom in, you have enough little time when it dip and it dip back wicked. And if you sell on that dip, you don't enjoy the wonderful rise. It is very rare that a stock rises and only rises and only rises. That's in fact that's unnatural, because somebody the act of it rising is people getting out and other people getting in. So it's natural that some people will get out and get out lower because, oh, I'm just finding out about this, and for me where it is now I can sell it way down. Anyway, let me not talk too much about other stocks. I mean, just that there's a point I'm saying that, you know, there's lots of opportunity there on the market, and what was a dead market 2 weeks ago is now, I don't know, a zombie market, because a whole heap of things arise from the dead. A lot of things have been cheaper than expected. I think I mentioned it before. I never expected to be able to get lab so cheap ever
Right.
again. Ever again.
No, true.
Yo, I'll tell you something funny that I haven't said it. I said publicly here, but they are bad mind. Every time I get the My Money J alert, cause man say somebody get lab shares for 260 odd. I said, Jesus, I see one time, right? I say somebody get it for 260 little bit. My God, look how much should I did do it. And then like maybe 2 or 3 times I have seen that over the past few weeks, past few days, weeks, right? Only for check my email and see a contract note from a broker. Not me.
I put in
Yeah, the order there.
I put it in. I put not more than I'm half asleep, and you know I go in bed late, and I put it in an order because I don't want to catch a mark or anything like that. And I realize I do some mapping and I pay attention to what I see. Blah. You guys know better. You guys know the stuff I say when I'm not on this stuff. And I put in an order and forgot about it completely. Forget about it from my account completely. So every time I see the alert that come through, I say, like, when I saw the third alert, I'm kicking myself because I'm saying,
I good I saw you broke too. You said, okay, if you have the money, we'll do it too.
but there's so many opportunities. And look how much could I do it, and lab, you know better, Randy. You of all people should have buy a lab. Ray. Only to see the receipt. Not me I buy. Some of them are bad mind myself.
In the air.
Yeah, I never thought that there'd be opportunities for stuff like this. So yeah, big up the people who got jam teas for all the way down to
285 and so.
yeah, man. I see went to a low of 267. Damn.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. 267 at the 330 now. Wow. 20,
Opportunity.
23% gain, and jam tea pushes enough volumes for, you know, the regular retail people. It pushes enough volumes. So well, yeah, I was waiting for summer. I mentioned QWI as an addendum to your point, Phil, because I couldn't wait in Jamty anymore. But I've kept some units in QWI, and as funds go, it's no MJE, but I think when summer finally arrives, there might be some benefit for QWI, and I'm banking on that benefit over the Jamty benefit personally.
Yeah.
But then again, Jamty QWI is Jamty, yeah.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was my nobody's listening this late gem.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, gentlemen. I don't know if
Man,
anybody.
bless
Yeah, man. Big up, Phil. Thank you for that point. I don't know if anybody else was listening. I had a point, but nobody has sent a speaking request, so I'm gonna take the chance to allow.
Well,
Danhai to
I'm
go
not
to
upset. I'm tired.
Yeah, me either. I've grown up first thing in the morning, so anybody who wanted to do it, remember there is a grower discount code, and you can get in now, late but great. I won't turn it off until I go to my bed, so you have a little while to go. And part of what you get from this thing is also a chance to link with Danhai early or later. You get a discount to Danhai, you get a discount to My Money JA. Thank you to everybody who came on, asked a question, spoke. Thank you to Danhai for doing this, especially in your sick state. I know how it feels with the COVID stuff. Take the rest. Even when you feel better, take the rest. Because even I have felt better now at this point, and exercise because I can push myself, and I feel it mashed me up quick, man. So I hope I praying there's no long COVID for you, but just take the rest. Don't push yourself too hard. Stay in and get better, and we'll do this again next week, of course. And thank you for everybody who has called in and will call in. coming next week. Big up, thank you. You have anything you want to leave the people with, Danhai?
Boy, sorry, I'm not much motivated right now, but yeah, best of people. Market is there. Trust me, a lot of opportunities, and yeah, keep investing. Start investing if you haven't. Trust me, your life will change. You'll get a lot out of it. There's something there for everybody.
Yep.
And also, my calendar is open, so go for it. Book away.
Boom. That not gonna last very long, people. So big up. All right, guys. And his calendar is at D Hall Advisory.
Yeah, dhadvisor.com. You can check. You can see it on our site. dhadvisor.com. Just book consultation and sign up. And yeah, we can look at your portfolio, look at your goals, and see our best way we can get there.
All right. All right. Big up. Thank you, guys. And this has been another Brick Talk. Hope you enjoy it. I know. And last thing I'll leave with, I feel bad for having not mentioned this the entire show. We're still doing the My Money JA 1 year discount. If you should probably sign up for My Money JA account. And if you sign up and use this code, My Money Year 1, like a bunch of people I've seen over the last 2 weeks actually, you will get a 10% off for the rest of the year, and chances are we'll do something at the end of next year when something is done. But long before that, we have a couple of things coming, including a lot of things that you guys have been asking about. I'll leave it there. Big up again. Thank you to everybody, and good night. It's been another Brick Talk. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Come on, this up, people.
Cool.